Hi everyone. How we doing? Hello, hello. Happy Sunday, everybody. Oh, I need to readjust myself in my chair. This is not going to work. Hold up. Let's just refiddle stuff. There we go. Oh, I'm excited for today, guys. I'm excited. We're going to continue on with original character stuff, and I love when we get to do that. It's so fulfilling. I love it, and I hope you're all here for it as well, because I'm so here for it. Hi everybody. Hiya Marty. Hiya Toko. Hiya Drawing. Hi Blue Jay. Hi Fandoms. And hi Sophie. Welcome to chat, my dude. Hi Yasmini. Hi Toko. I already said hi to Toko, didn't I? Well, hi Toko again. Hi Molly. Hi Hydra. Hi Zim. Hello. Hi Sam. Hi Sid. And hi Starry. Hello. Question for chat and me. Which name do I prefer for fantasy novels, Silas or Alexander? I don't see Silas as often as a name, but I'm the kind of person that when it comes to like fantasy names, I'm just like not real life names, or like a variation on real life names. Hi enemy, welcome my dude. Oh, Emery. I can read. I apologize. How we doing today? How's our weekend been so far? Have we had a nice chill time? The weather here has been gorgeous, and we've been enjoying some summer sun because summer is coming back, baby. I'm gonna enjoy it for like a couple of weeks, and then I'm gonna be like, it's too hot. Yeah, Silas is not a name that I've seen as often as Alexander, like in the normal world. Doing swapping canvas painting every 10 minutes with your mum. That's so cool. Scarlet McCall or traffic light. And the relationship. Let's go. Chill never. Finish finals. Oh, chill. Yeah, finishing finals in a couple of days. Yeah, that's not a chill time, I'll say. That yes. All the best, my dude, for the last couple of days. You got this final sprint. It's just about to start for me, so yeah, we love exam season. Yeah, a couple of weeks. That's how it is for me as well. Finals are the funnest. Your best friend wants you to name him Alexander H. They can reference Alexander Hamilton. Oh, well, no, it doesn't have to be that. To be fair though, Alexander could be like shortened to Xander or Alex, or you could have a lot of more like nickname possibilities for Alexander because it's such a long name. And then you could go really like wacky on the nicknames for it then. But if it's not something that you want to do, don't make yourself forced to do it. June 3rd, got your finals, like 2 weeks, currently catching on in silence while watching. Hope you can focus on that, my dude. We love exam season. It's the best, exactly. Everyone, all the best to everyone who's going through it. Who's working on stuff. You got this. You're gonna do amazing. Just chill. Make sure you're eating well, hydrating enough, and sleeping enough. Because you can't do nothing if you're not sleeping enough and not taking care of yourself. And if at the moment you can't properly take care of yourself, maybe ask someone else to be like, hey, look, can you make sure that I have one proper meal every day? Because that would be really helpful. Ask people around you to help you out. There's nothing wrong about that. Anyway, taking care of yourself PSA out of the way. We, and I'm excited for this, are going to be talking about original character stuff again for the first time in months. It's been so long. And honestly, when I was looking through this again, it's also been so long since I drew like generally all of our characters. And this is, I think, something that I talked about when we redesigned Kira. So people who weren't there for that stream back then, I think it was like in November. Oh, I could actually check this. I could check this quite quickly because I saw it on my thing. 6 months ago? No. Really? 6 months ago? Oh. It doesn't tell me what exact date it was, but I'm shocked. I'm appalled. I'm disgusted. We started a thing. We started a thing 6 months ago. And I had every intention on completing it by the end of the year. That happened. And then I moved house. And then I did like an animatic and a half in that time. Well, in which case... Oh, I shouldn't have checked that. So 6 months ago, I put a little community post on the Everin YouTube channel asking who should we draw, or I want to redesign our characters, and giving like a poll on who we should redraw. And I will say, the character that we're redoing today is like the character that got voted the least, which shame on you guys who participated in that poll. Let me just quickly show my window. Ignore the please, please, please in this corner. I've still got this video up for stream purposes. for thing purposes. But man, guys, I did 2 polls. So this was 6 months ago, where basically I want to be redesigning the OCs, our characters, because the last time I drew them is these animatic frames that you can see here, right? And we also have a second one here. And Kira won the vote back then, although Rain has won it this time. Rain won it, seems. Hiya, Artie. Hello, hello, my dude. So we drew Kira last time, a couple months ago, actually. I never posted that picture. I need to get better at posting, like, just pictures and not videos. And honestly, that's something... how many voted for Sam? Can you see how many people voted? Was that visible? You can just see the percent. Read more. 1.4k votes times 28%. You can do the maths there. But... Ooh, hello. Yeah, we scroll. I can't believe it was 6 months ago. I'm still reeling. How has it been 6 months already? You voted for Sam. You wanted Sam. We can do Sam in a bit. So the reason I'm doing Adamir, though, 392. It's quite a few votes. The reason we're doing Adamir is I want to it's mermaid, basically. It's the month of merpeople, mermaid, and so you know. 900. Oh, is that why we got... Oh, because there was 1.8k. 1.8k votes on there, and there was only 1.4. Is that why I did the maths? Why Rain, in theory, won, but I don't know. Anyway, no love for my boy Adamir here, and I'm very sad about it. Because I love you so much. And yes, 6 months ago, Kira won the vote, and we redrew Kira. I'm trying to find the picture. I can't find... There she is! Oh my gosh, finally. Finally. Have I... Oh, I haven't actually set anything up. Hold up, guys. Hold up. I haven't set up my stream. Boop. And a boop. We are so prepared. There we go. Ooh, wrong one. We have a Kira here. And so we've redesigned Kira. You can kind of see, like, the difference between this Kira and, like, the Kira that you can kind of see in this thumbnail down here. So we've got a bit of a new design. Setting up Englisch not needed for that, yes. Dem Fall nicht. Brauchen wir gar kein Englisch. Also. Ich find's immer lustig, wenn wir Sprechen Sie Deutsch haben und ich über originale Charakter rede. Ein bisschen Spoiler auf Deutsch zu geben für die Leute, die Deutsch kennen. Und ich glaube, ich habe bisher noch niemand im Chat gesehen, außer es gibt Leute, von denen ich es nicht weiß. Noch niemand im Chat gesehen, der oder die Deutsch sprechen könnte. Also könnte ich jetzt ein ziemliches... könnte ich jetzt ziemlicher Spoiler geben, wenn ich Lust habe. Das ist aber mal interessant. Hi, Carl. Das war Deutsch. Man kann auch Hi auf Deutsch sagen. Das funktioniert natürlich. Aber ja, was kann ich zu Adamir sagen? Er hat mega... Er hat coole Eltern. Das können wir sagen. Du sprichst ein bisschen Deutsch. Nicht so schlecht. Hi Nini, hallo. Hey. Nini kann Deutsch. Jetzt bist du da. Hey Nini, ich bin kurz davor, einen richtigen Spoiler über originale Charakter zu machen. Weil Sprechen Sie Deutsch redeemed wurde. Und ich hab's fast gemacht. Und dann bist du aufgetaucht. Obwohl ich glaube, dann könnten Leute im Wort nachschauen. Das wäre vielleicht eine schlechte Idee gewesen. Anyway, German time's over. I almost spoiled something big because I was like, oh, no German speaker is in chat. It's fine. But I did say something. About Adamir. Save me. Save me, or you... I don't know. Oh, I hope you're doing alright, my dude. So, yes, we did Kira. And I'm really happy with how Kira's design came out here. I think she's hecking adorable and everything that I kind of imagined with her. And I'm just hoping that we can kind of get the same here. Started glass frames from the live series wins, probably your favorite single frame of my work. The stained glass. P.S. The stained glass. I can read. I didn't read started. I read stained, I promise. Thank you, Toko. And posture check. Thank you. I'm already sitting pretty up straight here. You're alive again? Nice. Now clip that and learn German so you can understand the spoiler. Mango around. I don't know. I'm assuming Mango is also an exam phase. Oh no, actually, don't think Mango is. Been a while since you were in the last room here. Well, it's lovely to have you here, my dude. Reminded that you recently had a project in German class and you got partnered with someone who speaks German really well. Felt like you were the one person in the crew project being carried. At least at some point you can let yourself be carried. Don't have to like have the what's it, the pressure on you all the time. Playing Animal Crossing while watching the stream? That sounds amazing. Dudes, I have dusted off my old Wii games, because they are nostalgia and they are childhood. My dad was about to give them away and I was like, no, yoink. So I stole them and took them to my new place, and now we have a bunch of Wii games, and we don't have a Wii because my dad gave away the Wii U. So we have a bunch of Wii games without a Wii. I'm gonna try and like find a second-hand Wii so that I can play nostalgia games. One of your imaginary squares in your imaginary content creator bingo card is a Martin Katie collab. Dude, that would be something. I don't know what we'd collab on, but that would be fun. I'd be up for that. I would probably take a moment to not be starstruck, but I'd be so up for that. Because I've been watching Martin for like 10 years. I've watched him for longer than any of the like live series peeps. But just, you were making nuggies? What doing? We're gonna do some original character designing today. Martin makes a song, I animate it. Oof. Oh. Didn't want it to feel like that, so tried to put in the same amount of work. Messed up part of the speaking. It's alright, my dude, you got it. May not also be in his chat. Martin seems like the sort of person that if there was a planned event for it and had time, he'd just be like, yeah, sure, why not? MCC is a great example. Yeah, I mean, oh gosh, MPC, I'd, if I were to join MCC, like, oh, you mean with like the MCC Rising, the animators? That is so cool. He's like their coach. I love that. I would embarrass myself so bad on MCC. But hey guys, I'm going to TwitchCon. And I've got like plans to print out a bunch of animatic frames and see if there's any content creators that I can like, because I think, I don't know if there'll be like a meet and greet after MCC on Sunday, but if there is, then I'm gonna do my best to Katie. Okay, hi, hello. I'm actually in Twitch Rivals this year. Sure. Isn't it already announced who's going to TwitchCon? Like who's in MCC? Headless Gem and Legless Pearl. What? MCC on Sunday? Not this Sunday. Not this Sunday. MCC is on It's announced. It's me. No, Blue Jay. It is on at TwitchCon. They're gonna have TwitchCon MCC on Sunday, at the end of the month. So like, or not even the end of the month. It's the 1st of June. Do people not know this? Is this not common knowledge? Hello, guys. Hold up. I've got this on a different set. I've already got this on a separate thing. TwitchCon Rotterdam is in a couple weeks. And on Sunday, the 1st of June at 2:30 p.m, it's MCC. This was revealed so long ago. Oh, and so these are the people who are going. Let me just zoom in for you guys. So Martin's going. I don't know a lot of these names. Ren's going. If I'm just talking live series peeps. Scott's going, Joel's going, Jimmy's going, which was a recent addition. Yeah, Ollie's going. So I'm going to print out a drawing of each of these guys and see if I can catch them at some point of the event to sign it. That's my goal for TwitchCon, because I'm poddling onto TwitchCon. Like my main goal, it'd be so cool to meet Martin. You were gonna go to TwitchCon? But you're busy that day? No. I've like put everything aside so that I could go to TwitchCon. And it's the 10-year anniversary as well, man. Anyway. Let us Earth the Katie. Let us respect Molly's Earth the Katie and actually get to what we're doing. Don't have to draw eyes that are actually eye-shaped with full outline. Weird. You could go someday. Yeah, this was kind of like the year where I was like, I definitely want to go. Let's see. How to draw eyes. How do I draw eyes? I think it depends on your style, because eyes are very like individual. You could do so much. I don't really have a strategy where I think it would be helpful to teach how to draw eyes. It's literally, it just goes like up and around, and that's kind of like it's one of those things I used to have like put so much weight on what the eyes looked like. That was like the most important thing for me, and we'll actually see this. We'll see this in like different drawings that I'm gonna try and dig up like different drawings of like Adamir over the years, because I've drawn him a bunch of times, but not in the most recent years. So it'll be like you'll be able to kind of see him and his like design evolution over a while. I meant to do this before stream, but it didn't. Hello. My phone went burr and it was very weird. No, Molly's and ads. TwitchCon's just around the corner. Yeah, TwitchCon is just around the corner from Australia. There's so many different ways to do eyes. Why is Adamir the Sushi Prince? Because he's a merman and he's a prince, right? This is a story. Do you guys remember Pearl Queen? My friend Pearl Queen? Pearl was the, not Pearlescent Moon, but Pearl was the co-owner of the Ever SMP before it was called the Ever SMP. It was called the Pearl SMP for the longest time. And when I first told her about Adamir, because we've got this kind of friendship where we'd like meet up once every half year, and we just spend all afternoon talking about the stories that are going on in our head. And this has been our friendship for 15 years. And so on one of those days where we'd meet up and we'd talk about the stories bottling on in our head, we drew. I talked about Adamir and told her about him, and she was like, "He's a sushi prince," because he's a merman, he's a fish, and he's a prince. And that name has stuck ever since. In fact, actually, Pearl really like latched on to Adamir so much so that she wanted an image of him where it goes like "stay hydrated." That she wanted that printed on a bottle. And this This was the result of that. Was a gift for Pearl. I made this for Pearl, and it says stay hydrated. Does this picture look familiar? It makes so much sense then. Does this picture look familiar to anyone who's been here a while or who maybe is in the Discord? Because that's why I find it so funny. This was our profile picture on the Everin channel for the longest time. And it's also still the profile picture for the Everin Discord. So many people haven't seen the full image. Yeah, so many people haven't seen the full image. And what I love about it is that this was before our hydrate train, our hydrate obsession. Yeah, this was before that, Zim. This was like a full year before that. I don't know when this is. I had my iPad because I recognized the brush. I had my iPad. Oh, I've called it now, haven't I? Oh, this is my fault. I shouldn't have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh no! For those of you here who don't know your way around the hydrate trains, if we get 10 hydrates in a row in chat without a chat message interruption, I have to chug my whole bottle. And so we got up to 9, and then Blue Jay sent their message. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, we got it. We got 10. We got 10. Oh, now I need to chug my bottle. We only do this once a stream. Sam, how many points do you have? How do you have that many points? Half of those were Sam. And Sam does this like every stream. I don't understand how Sam has this many points. None of my concern. I'm scared. I'm scared. I love that you're just committed to the fact that you use all your channel points just for hydrate, Sam. Right, I'm stalling. Let's stay hydrated like Adamir requests us to do. Yeah, you do spend a lot of time. I'm lightheaded. Oh my flipping goodness. You should also, yeah, everyone else hydrate as well. That was a full bottle. I'd like you to know. I didn't say that, but I also didn't quite realize that it was a full bottle. Ooh, I think that was a bit too much. I need to, my head is throbbing and my heart is pumping, flipping heck. 39k? What? I need to have an 100k channel point redemption. I have no idea what it is. They have water in it, so that counts, right? Yeah, right. I've got raspberries right next to me that I actually wanted to snack on during stream. So I might as well do that. That's my hydrating, right? Oh my gosh. 4k. Zim is a hoarder. I don't think I've seen Zim. No, you haven't done ukulele redeems. I haven't seen Zim redeem very much at all. Now that I think about it. Don't mods get free redemptions anyways? No. Actually, Zim, yeah. Being a moderator, are you able to dish out channel points? I don't know. But you had a lot? Can you check? Unofficial mother? Gosh, if I'm a mother to people, heaven help you. I don't intend to be. You do mess me up with switcheroo, actually. You are very good at getting switcheroos at the worst time. You and Fernandos are the worst switcherooers. No, you can't just dish them out. No, don't try. Oh, no, that wasn't a challenge. Yes, Fernandos is the best for that. I'm really confused. My setup is with, oh, my desk. My chair is too low down. I get it now. I felt so low down to the ground. Takeda, yes, sorry, Molly. Hello, we're back. Back to drawing and back to this. I honestly have no idea how I draw eyes. We're getting so sidetracked, but this is like very normal. I always think like, oh, I'm going to my iPad so quickly today. We're going to start drawing so quickly, but then we don't. After doing a chug with me on karaoke, you don't want to do it again? Right? Zim had to chug with me. Zim knows how awful it is. So fast. I really wish I could give like a better like explanation on how I do eyes. I think the only explanation that I can really give is one that I gave in a recent stream, in how I give like character, like give character personalities with eye shape, where if it's more angular, maybe a more serious character, and if it's more rounded, it's like a more fun-loving character. But yeah, I honestly I don't know. Maybe I'm just not in the headspace to think about it right now. If it's really something people are interested in, I can maybe kind of think more about it. But there's so many like eye tutorials out there. I don't think I'd do a better job than the tutorials out there. Thinking is so scary, right? I think all I can really explain to you is shape language in eyes. And maybe if you're drawing two eyes at the time, if like one eye, you're really happy with how one eye looks, and the second eye is kind of like, doesn't look the same, and I don't understand why. I think my other like recommendation is kind of drawing the eyes at the same time, so that they can kind of have some consistency on them. So you kind of understand like the shapes that you're doing. And they can be a little bit more consistent. I mean, this is incredibly quick and they are not consistent, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Love drawing eyes. I think eyes are very fun to draw. Eyes are the gateway to the soul, if that makes sense. Let's just have a look. Let me just, because there is a drawing out there that I could reference, but I don't know where I have it. Do I have it in a sketchbook somewhere? Do I have it on my phone? My phone has like got these, yes, illustrations. Let's see if it's here. My phone is getting better and better at recognizing. We don't have it. Don't have it. Not here. Where would thou be? I have so many pictures on my phone. It's like it's 5,000. I'm not going to find one picture in 5,000. Should I instead look for my sketchbooks? No. Basically, what I wanted to show you guys is an example of all our characters' eyes rode up on top of each other. And kind of like show you the differences between those eyes. And I really wish I had it on my iPad, but it seems that I don't. I'm sad. Oh well. Yeah, no, it don't work. Not anywhere. Hi Rose, hello. Love the double F animatic, thank you. What's my favorite epical musical song? Open Arms, I think I have to say. It's like the only one on my playlist, I think. And Rose, thank you for following. It's lovely to have you here, my dude. Open Arms is the only one on my playlist. I keep singing I Can't Help But Wonder. I love Dangerous. No, you know what? I'm changing my answer. Dangerous is my favorite song, but I don't have it on my playlist because The beginning part, the 600 men. I don't vibe with that part. But every time I listen to Dangerous, I'm just like in the best mood ever. And then I have to listen to it again. But yes. Hiya, Pixel Prowess. But I think Open Arms is like a close second. And I love Love in Paradise. It's so I love the singer of Calypso. No, not Love in Paradise, sorry. Not Sorry for Loving You. Not Sorry for Loving You. Hello. Hiya, Castleline. Thank you so much for the resub, my dude. I appreciate it. What others? Scylla. Scylla is so good. But I've also been singing like the Ithaca songs a lot recently. And I didn't vibe with them as much at first, but they're really growing on me. I'm not sorry for loving you. It's a really problematic topic. But it's also really kind of sweet. Yeah. Oh my gosh, her voice. And honestly, I felt so hard. I felt for Calypso. The entire, what is it? The Vengeance Saga. That starts with Not Sorry for Loving You. And then Dangerous. I was like cleaning the house, hoovering and like washing windows while I was listening to that. And every time that I would like listen, like a new saga would come out, I would listen through the entire musical, and then I would listen to the saga. And dudes, Not Sorry for Loving You just had me floored. I just sat on the ground, kind of crying. And then Dangerous came, and I listened to Dangerous for like on repeat for like half an hour, even more. I think I watched all of our windows bouncing along to Dangerous. Anyway, to Katie, I know. Let us get going. I'm not sorry for loving you. Oh, this makes me want to make an original character epic AU. Man. It's really annoying because neither Simon nor Alina know epic. And you guys don't know the original characters very well yet. And if I were to do some like character assignments, that might spoil some things as well. So darn it. Although Tsorak would definitely be Scylla. I'm not sorry for loving you. Okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? Boop. Let's get ourselves an open canvas. We got an open canvas. Ba-doop-ba-doop. Eternal sugar. No idea what you're talking about, my dude. Dropped your phone while moving? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We are just about to start drawing our beautiful boy Adamir, who is one of our original characters, mine, Simon and Alina's, for a story that we're kind of working on. Original story, original characters. And I'm gonna kind of talk about him, talk about Adamir. We did this back in, I want to say November, where we drew Kira. And now we're doing Adamir, because it's Mermaid, and Adamir is a merman. So yeah, let's have a look-see here. I'm going to do it exactly like how I did it for Kira. So I'm going to insert a bunch of pictures of Adamir. All the pictures that I have of him currently. I'm currently debating if I should poddle onto the social medias and find some more of him. Cookie Run Kingdom? Okay. Crew listens to the songs. Oh yeah, I've loved watching those. Adamir. I tell you, his dad does have Poseidon vibes. I will say. Insert a photo. I'm not sorry for loving you. Hiya, Karon. Hello. How you doing, my dude? I'm gonna just drag in a bunch of Adamir pictures. Do we go and look for some more? Do we go and look for some more by scrolling through old drawings? I think we should. I think that'll be fun. Let's see, Procreate Archive. Oh, let's see, OC Designs 2021. Oh man, a trip through down memory lane. 2021. This is what Adamir looked like. Oh guys, you're blocking him. How dare you? You're still blocking him. He's not working. There he is. Gosh, he's got those Will Turner vibes, doesn't he? Oh man, this was supposed to be a character sheet. Oh, we actually started like filling some traits in. Just, like we did a bunch of these to be like character sheets. Sushi. Sushi Prince. He's a tall boy. He's very tall when he does not have his merman legs. I'm really irritated at the fact that chat is in the way, so I might just quickly do this. Yeah, the ear. So I'm kind of wanting to see how I'm going to redesign his ear for this. Because Kira was human. Kira is not a lot, there's not a lot of thought that needs to go into her kind of like features in that sense, right? But actually I want to rethink how I do non-human characters. So if we like move on, oh that was the base. We've got characters like Chinoa, pardon me, who's a harpy and she's got like feather ears. And I don't want her ears to just be feathers. It's an interesting design, and I think it works for this kind of style. But I think my style has evolved since then. To be almost, I'd say, less cartoony. This is very clean line art here, man. This is the cleanest you'll ever get line art wise from me. But yeah, we got really into human. Oh, you've never seen Logan before, have you? Never seen Logan before. Kira, not much to think about. Rain is another case of non-human character. How to design non-human characters. Exactly what you have in Jimmy design, but not Canary. Yeah, it's something that I want to rethink. Because there is a part of the story where Adamir kind of needs to pose. No, you haven't seen Logan, so I'm just going to zoop by Logan for a second because, oh my, I'm not ready to tell you about Logan yet. Leo Valdez, I don't know who that is. And then we have Sammy. Oh, I love how we got Sam Anderson. Oh, dudes. Oh my gosh, we have spoilers in these, I've just realized. So let's just, although some of them are outdated, I realize. This is 2021. This is 2021. Oop, wrong draw. So, that's kind of like original character designs. Oh, Rain did get a new design as well, very quickly. Let me... How do I... let me just gather together some more Adamir references here on my computer. So that's like some original old character designs. We could go even older. We could go back to 2020. So old, guys. Are you ready for the really old art? Oh no. Am I gonna get demonetized with this? Am I gonna have problems? Because basically, Let me show you with gosh. Let me show you with Kira here. Basically, oopsie, wrong. We had all these oh, let me just get this chat message back. We put all the characters in underwear so that we could like plonk outfits on them, design outfits for them. And so the guys don't actually have, yeah, that's so that we could design clothes for them basically. So I'm not going to show you the guys because they have their nipples out. We're not going to do that. Oh, we did some hair designs. We did some head. Oopsie, I keep pressing the wrong thing. We did some like, because for merpeople, hair is very, very important, and start like having good hair and having like intricate hairdos is a sign of what's it called? A sign of not wealth, but like you're high up in the world. Like you're a poor person. I think it was 2020. I think that's where we were at for those designs. Status? Status, thank you. It's a good sign of status. Oh, back in these designs, Rain was also a girl. Just as a throwback, I keep wrong picture. Oh my gosh, there we go. clicky. Rain used to be a girl. We did some back with some bubble tea. You enjoyed the bubble tea. Yeah, dude, look at that. Look at that hand. That's not bad. The wrist is kind of broken, but I obviously used a reference to that hand. But obviously did not use a reference for those feet. My gosh. Have you heard of flesh mittens? How about flesh feet? Anyway, Rain switched sides, yes. Let me see. Oh, this is also a good picture. This is relatively recently. And I say relatively. This was like, gosh, what would this have been? This would have been 2022, maybe. This was in a sketch. So I'm going to keep this up. Yeah, the reason that I made flesh mittens for the animatics is because I got bored of drawing hands. If it was like individual drawings, I would draw hands. But yeah. It's not excellent. Well, we all got to start somewhere. We've all got to start somewhere. So let's put. I'll take this as a reference as well, because this is the updated color palette. Because Adamir used to be blonde. And I honestly, yeah, and his tail fin was also a different color. Let's see. Finish artworks, that's what I'm looking for. My favorite image of Adamir is this one. We put him in it. We plonked him in a challenge. Oh, this is back when we were called Navy Bows instead of Tales of Everin. How do you attach arms to the body? We can quickly go into that. So, magical girls, it's a magical girl Adamir. Magical girl Adamir. So what I did was in like my gap year, so years and years ago, I did the anatomy course, or I started the anatomy course from Proco. So if you go onto their website, Proco, they do fantastic anatomy courses. And I basically got to I did the upper body part and got bored and stopped. So I do have much more of like a process on how I do upper bodies. So let's say, hello. Let's say we have kind of like the body here. And let's imagine we have a head. This is just going to be very kind of like basic. So we have upper body here, chest there, goes down to the hips. So basically, I always draw like where the bone connecting your ribs are. I used to have this. I used to have like the middle of your chest. I always kind of draw that part in the sketch, right? And that's where you kind of get your collarbones from. So from that middle part, I draw a V, and then I kind of extend that V out, because then you have the collarbones, right? And then those collarbones kind of then turn into the arms. So you have like a circle around where the collarbone ends, where the arm is. And don't give like your shoulders don't go like this. Your shoulders go down like this actually. So I always kind of like in the torso have like where the arms sockets should be. And then depending on where I want to draw the arm, like what I want the arm to do, I then draw the hand next. So imagine this character's maybe like holding a staff or something. So I have like an end where the arm's supposed to be. So this is where the arm's supposed to end. And then like between like the wrist and the arm, I draw a line. And then we kind of have like, keep in mind perspective. We kind of in the half point of that arm, in the half point of that arm, you can kind of like draw a line down. If it was like, say, shoulders here and the hands up here, if it were a right angle, you'd have the connection here, and the line, your reference line going down would be like perpendicular. Is that what it is? When it's like a right angle to the other line, that's where your elbow will be. And so you're kind of like, this is where you're like, I don't know, showing the bicep or something. And that's how you can kind of like connect them where they look like an arm, right? So that you're kind of thinking of it like a right triangle, exactly. And so you need to kind of consider where the elbow would go. Think about where you'd put your elbow if you're positioning, if you're holding something like that. We're working with some foreshortening here. This isn't like the easiest pose that I've decided to do, but I also like to not, I mean, I've got very straight lines here, but I also like to not work with straight lines when, let's have this arm, like hold it like down, like going down there, kind of like, what's it called? Ambling, just hanging down, right? So we've got the same thing happening here. But I could draw straight lines between the two, but I actually like to kind of give them a bit of life by not drawing a straight line, which is exactly what I'm doing here. Like the forearm can't bend like that. The bone does not bend like that, but it just adds a bit of life and kind of a bit of flow, make it feel less rigid. And so I kind of have the connection between your upper and your lower arm with the elbow. And then the circle that you have here, that's your shoulder. So what if we were to just lower the opacity here and draw on top of that? That's kind of like where your shoulder's going up, right? And depending on how muscular this person is, this can be more pronounced or less pronounced. That's the shape of your shoulder. And then, and this is not anatomy advice, this is how I draw it. Because I don't think I do it incredibly correctly. My characters aren't anatomically perfect. Really not. I don't necessarily want you guys to just listen to me when it comes to anatomy advice. Seriously, go and do, like, if you're interested in learning anatomy, go and do the Proco anatomy course. It takes so long, and that's why I didn't pull through with it. But you can learn so much, and my anatomy improved so much just by doing the part that I did. So seriously, like, I'm telling you this now, I'm kind of teaching you how I do it. But do not take it as gospel, because my anatomy is not correct. Like, it's not perfect. Right? So it's kind of like, it's like copying something that is incorrect, and then it just degrades with every copy. So if you just copy something that is correct to begin with, and that's why references are also fantastic. I'm usually too lazy to put open references, but if there's like a drawing that I really want to get right, I am there on Pinterest looking at references in similar poses. That's a caveat. Learn a new French word for pig. Okay. So you kind of have the shoulder here. And depending on how muscular this person is, we could kind of like have more pronounced muscles here if we wanted to. And usually there's clothes over this, so I don't usually worry about the arm anatomy too much. But I find arms relatively difficult. They're basically kind of two sausages fused together. Where this, like the general shape of the upper arm is kind of a little more like fat, I guess you could say. And I know I'm doing something wrong here. I'm just trying to figure out what it is. But basically, like the outer part can be a little bit more straight lines, and the inner part is a little bit more curvy, like the part closer to the body. Like you have like the elbow here, and then you can basically do pretty much a straight line down there. Well, that's what I do. And then the inner part is where I curve it, and then I curve it towards the hand. Boop. There we go. That's how I do arms. And make sure that you like leave enough space for the wrist. So say this is kind of like where your hand is. It's really interesting like getting questions like this, because it makes me rethink why I draw something the way I draw it and whether that is even correct. So yeah, there's your kind of like arm there. Maybe it got too skinny at the end, like proportionally. And then you kind of do the same thing where this is like the inner part, or the, you know, the more fleshy part is very rounded. And then you've got the relatively straight part here. You've got the elbow, and then the shoulder kind of following your sketch. And then because this can be a bit more like muscular because they're bending their arm there. And there you go. And the torso can kind of go at the front here. But very often, like, I don't care for the arm anatomy that much because I don't draw people shirtless that often. But, you know. Do I draw with a mouse or a digital pen? I draw with a digital pen. The Apple Pencil. I use the Apple iPad. And I use Procreate. Well, have I missed anything? What I have missed? Hello. Lady Miku, thank you so much for following, my dude. It's lovely to have you here. And welcome to chat. Hi. Your first stream in a few months life had to keep you so busy. How dare life? How dare. Welcome back, Swift. Hello. Any questions? So. Proco's good. Yep. Writing that down. We are doing algebra while drawing, I'm afraid. It's all shapes and colours. That trick was so helpful for you when you first learned anatomy. Though that method, but without the triangle, I think that triangle would definitely help you more. Yeah, it's just... The thing is with anatomy, you kind of intuitively learn it the more that you look at people, right? Does that make sense? Because I can see here, like, this top arm here is kind of like, there's something wrong with it. Like, this arm here is better. Because I think I just overthought, I was overthinking this arm. There's something up with it. It looks a bit stiff, and I don't quite, can't see it. I can see that there's something wrong, but I can't see what. You just improve by observing, basically. And then you can kind of see, you can kind of critically observe what you're doing. So much better when you look at the arm, the position, draw a line about where it should be, and draw the arm around it. Furiously trying to figure out how this works in pixel art. Oof, good luck, my dude. Good luck. Have we caught up? Have we caught up? Unless it's the third, yeah. Unless it is the third life scar skin, or unless it's Adamir, as we can see. I've drawn Adamir shirtless quite a few times because Merman, with like fishnet as well and everything. I hope that helps. I hope that was helpful. I just want it known during that entire explanation, this was on my other monitor. I've been staring at this while chatting with you guys. Dude, Adamir has gone through so many eye color changes, you have no idea. We can't seem to settle on an eye color for Adamir. Adamir Sailor Moon, our most beautiful magical girl. This was like gosh, what was it? This was a challenge at some point on Instagram, and I was like, heck, let's do it. I think it must have been a 2020 challenge, because I was doing challenges back then quite a bit to pass the time. The merperson looks like Poseidon, but younger. Is he an OC? Yeah, he's Adamir. He's our boy. Just make him rainbow eyes. Ooh. Ocean eyes. Your rainbow eyes. So yeah, Adamir is one of our original characters on the story that we're creating. And I'm happy to talk to you about him a bit. I'm excited. I'm just scrolling through whether there's any other drawings. Oh. I once drew our characters cosplaying as the Mighty Nine. The Critical Role Mighty Nine. I can't open it for some reason. Hello? No, it's opening GIMP. No, GIMP, what are you doing? Oh no. Go away. I don't want GIMP. Close. Oh, it's ruined everything. Oh no, I've opened so many windows doing this. Close all windows. Okay. Or ever-changing eyes becoming part uranium eyes. Uranium eyes. Oh, Sam. Because of course Sam would want uranium eyes. Right, let me go back to where we were. Art. We were in Procreate Archive and where is it? Finished artworks. I'm just seeing if there's any more drawings of Adamir that I think would be helpful as reference. I think the Stay Hydrated is already very helpful. So we'll definitely get that up and going. But I don't think there's much more to say and to see. I haven't drawn Adamir that much, which is weird. Hello. Pause to check Earth the Katie, hydrate, and stretch. I shall stretch. And am I okay to hydrate on some berries? Because otherwise I'd have to go and refill my bottle. Right. I think I am happy with where we're at. And yeah. Yeah. I've got a bunch of pictures up on my desktop here. There's like reference pictures. And I've got a bunch on my drawing. What's the old switcheroo? I have to draw with my left hand or game with like switching my hands. Basically whatever my left hand does, my right hand has to do, and whatever my right hand does, my left hand has to do. No eyes, no eyes. Void eyes. You're talking about this little guy in the corner here. I love a little void eye bee. Boop. There he is. So, let me have some thoughts on Adamir. I know that I've liked drawing him with a relatively long face and actually I think every time that I've drawn Pearl. Am I playing Art Fight this year? No, it's never really been something that I've been interested in drawing. On the live series Duck Diabolical. What is the live series Duck Diabolical? Explain. I don't know what that is. Art Fight is like a I think, is it an Instagram thing? Where a bunch of artists come together and it's like a competition. And it has multiple layers to it. I don't usually have time to like partake in those kind of things. But I've seen the amazing stuff that other people do. Ba-da-ba-da. Thank you for giving you such knowledge. I'm very happy. I don't know what knowledge I gave, but I'm happy that I could. So basically, this is really interesting because I think when I'm drawing Pearl, I'm saying like life series Pearl now, I think she's like a combination of Chinoa and Adamir when it comes to facial structures. And it's really interesting the way my thought process over the years has changed, where when I'm drawing like life series characters, I'm like, yeah, Grian has a facial structure like Kira. Just to kind of give myself something to play off of, right? It's switched because at this point I've drawn the life series characters more than I've drawn my own characters. Potentially. I'd have to tally up all the different drawings I've drawn. The Tumblr community for the life series was changed to duck theorists. Why? Like you post an OC on a website and other people do the same. Join a team and basically people start to click your OC page and choose to fight it. And then draw that OC fighting yours and then reply with the drawing of yours fighting them, and your team can earn points, but it's not really about... Okay. A lot of people draw Pearl with a Greek nose. What is a Greek nose? I don't know what you mean by Greek nose. I draw Pearl. Oh, I need to get one of my more recent drawings of Pearl up. Why not? I draw Pearl like this. This is how I draw Pearl. The bubble. The bridge of the top part. Right after Green has been dropping hints about the live series, a bunch of live has dropped photos of ducks and various seabirds on their Insta. Interesting. Yeah, that's kind of like what art trade, or like my experience with art trade. What have I done to your girl? Artie, we're doing an animatic. This is 4 AM Pearl. This is the frame before that. This is one of the animatic frames. We're drawing an animatic. We're doing a double life animatic. As well as Ollie. What's Ollie been doing? Interesting. Well, hello there, Cucumber. Right. Let's finally do stuff. I don't think I've ever been this late in drawing. It's been an hour, everybody. So yeah, basically, it's really interesting how my thought process changes from this character looks, or this live series person looks like one of my original characters, to now one of my original characters is looks like a live series person. Interesting how that kind of like that brain chemistry changes. What song is the animatic on? It is on Please 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 by Sabrina Carpenter. Sabrina Carpenter, and it's a cover by Morgan Clay. If you want to hear more about it, do ! Song in the chat and there's more information about the song there. Why have the life has been hinting at stuff with ducks? Why no? Yeah, and why has no one shared that in the Discord? Guys, we have a conspiracy board we need to fill here. Explain. Explain yourselves. I think. Gosh, imagine getting Ollie to Sabrina Carpenter, sure. About to get duck life. I don't know, man. I don't know. So let's have a look. It's so bad. Duck. Why duck? Feather life. What would be the twist? That they live on a lake? I don't know, man. Let's have a look here. And I think I'm going to do a portrait like I did with Kira. And in fact, I'm going to drag Kira in here just to get like a similar visual style. Did I save Kira? It seems I did not. Kira is not part of my camera roll. How dare I? Boop. Save as PNG. Ducks and seabirds. Minimal landmass. The duck origin. Right. Let's drag Kira into this drawing. There she is. Boop, boop. So we can kind of get like a visual style for what we're going for here. Because I think this is kind of like a very over... I especially love the like the way that I did the eyelashes down here. That was something that I did then and never again afterwards, so you know. Taking 3 cracks, so he's alive. Huh? Ooh, ducks migrate. Okay, maybe. I can see that. I can see that for sure. Okay. Adamir. Let's have a look. So I'd like him to have a relatively long face. He's a really tall dude, and I don't know if that's just kind of like genetics, or if it's just the fact that he's a merman and that when he gets legs, it's just like it equates his long tail to be like, we need long legs. So he's the second tallest, I think. Is he the second tallest? 95. Oh, he's the third tallest. So Chinoa is 2 meters tall because, well, these are just arbitrary heights that we gave them like years ago, but they still kind of hold up, at least in reference to each other. Chinoa is tall bird lady. Harpies are really tall in general. And then Derek is just 185 meters. 1.85. And Adamir is 182. So pretty tall. Why is everyone so tall? I think we need to play around with the heights again. Kira's our shortest at 160. Green was being a menace on Scar's stream, put on yellow, green, you. I saw that. Twist on live series never relate to maps. That is true. But maybe they will now. They're gonna do something new either way. Interesting. .182 isn't super tall. You know a lot of genuine giants. I don't know a lot of genuine giants, so I've put up stickers. I put up stickers on my wall that were to represent. That was in my old place. That were to represent the characters. I should do that again here on my wardrobe or something. Do you know how you sometimes draw in like lines for kids growing up? I did that for our characters, but like with different washi tapes. How long do I think the stream will go? I don't know yet. I think we'll talk about Adamir and like give him a nice design. In fact, I do actually need to get a new layer here. Otherwise, I'm going to have my sketch on one layer. Right. Ooh. Let's have a look here. So our guy's got long hair. And very like floppy hair. Think like pretty thin hair, but dark. And just very straight. 2 people over 2 meters. Everyone gets a Canadian request for Jimmy. I'd be there for a Jimmy win. So, let's see. I don't really want to give Adamir... So the thing with Adamir, right? I want like a big diversity of different builds. I don't want like everyone in the fantasy world to be like super jacked kind of thing. So I don't want to give him like the like, you know, the sharpest jawline. Sharpest jawline is reserved for Derek. Guy's got relatively like middle cheekbones so far. Let's see. I like the idea of him just having a long face. Ba-dum-dum-da-da-da-dum-dum. Let's see. Am I overthinking this? Maybe, but this is important. A drawing of his skin with a canary background. A Jimmy win would be very fun. Let's see. He's got a relatively like vanilla nose in these. Adamir is one of those characters. Like, I've got such a visual, like, style that I have for Kira. Where it's like, yes, she is, like, her personality lends itself really well to giving her, like, a very distinct visual style. Adamir doesn't really fall under that same category. And maybe it's because I need to, like, build him out a bit more and then figure out his visual style a bit more in that sense. Hi, Syntix. Hello, hello. Oh, I completely forgot that, Zim. Thank you. I forgot to do that. Appreciate. That was yeah, I didn't do yeah. Brain not braining. So the thing with Adamir, right, is he is the first in line for the throne of Cordelian. And Cordelian is the merpeople land. It's the land of the merpeople. And boy, does that put a lot of pressure on his shoulders. Because he's being basically raised to be king one day, right? And it's not something that he's got like a lot of anxiety about. I wonder if I want to give him like a pointy nose. Like kind of like hooked downwards, right? Where do you learn about this story? On these streams right now. We're still like in the early phases, and this is like been a side mission for a long time, and actually was the original reason that we started posting our art online. Was for this story. But I kind of got derailed by the live series. And so I'm kind of like wanting to get back into it and make more original character, like animatics and all sorts of that kind of stuff. I want to give him like a wider nose. Yeah, there's a couple of animatics out there. There's no tag either. There's like nothing. Which I'm really bad about, and I want to improve on that. I want to do better, that kind of thing. So yeah, basically, I watch this space because there's plenty out there. I mean, there is a there's a YouTube video out there. Let's see, Ever random. Ever random. Can I type, please? Gosh, I hate it. Oh, it gives me so much anxiety sharing this kind of stuff. Oh, let's copy the link. But basically, we have a side channel. Oh, posture check. Thank you. I set up straight. We have a side channel. And on that side channel, once 2 years ago, we shared about our characters. And not a lot has happened since then, I will say. So if you're interested in watching that and hearing about the characters, then yeah. That's like a beginning thing. And that's when the original character animatic came out. And we wanted to do more, but life has kind of gotten in the way, and I really want to get back into it. I love these characters. I love the story that we've come up with. And basically it's a story that Simon, Alina and I have had in our brains, I'd say, since 2018. And in like 2021 we've had the characters in our brains since 2018. And I'd say like in 2021 just trying to think, what could his eye shape be? What have I done so far? Dude, I have not drawn these characters in so long. My style has changed so much. Really interesting. Yeah, basically, I want to do more. We've had these characters for a long time, and we've had, like, a story planned out for a long time. And it's just a case of, I have so many animatic ideas. I don't really know how to share this story, right? Has been my big dilemma. But I'm sure we'll figure it out at some point. And it's just nice to kind of, you know, work on it on the side and share more and more about this world. Because that's another thing as well, right? I can't if I share too much, like, I can't really be too spoilery with you guys, because firstly, there are so many things subject to change, but also, like, it's not just my story. It's something that Simon and Delina are also working on. And it's kind of like, gotta figure out what I'm allowed to tell you guys. And kind of like the introduction to the characters is, and like world building points, I guess, as well, is something that I can talk about. But story beats makes it difficult because there's much spoileriness in this entire story. How hard is it to find a cactus? Are we talking Minecraft here? How hard is it to find a cactus? I don't know. Here we go. He's a boy. So yeah, Adamir has a lot of pressure, like, on his shoulders of, you know, taking on the throne and following his father's footsteps, because his father's a really good ruler. It's like, and he's not his father's son. He tries to live up to his dad, but it's not like his calling to do things like him. It's not the person he is. Think How to Train Your Dragon, Stoic and Hiccup. Oh, cactus soil to find cactus. I thought it was just to find a cactus. You can repot your cats. Your cacts. She was going to say cats. Character anxiety, I sense. What do you mean with character anxiety? I have anxiety about the characters? Or does the character have anxiety? Yes to both. Maybe. But yeah, there's like big shoes to fill with his dad. And there's a lot of secrets that his kingdom keeps. And that his dad keeps from him. And he's the kind of person where it's like, I need full transparency. You can't be lying to people. Well, sometimes you lie to people for their own good, right? But you can't be lying to people. You can't be lying to the people. Like their population. And he doesn't quite understand that. And he really likes knowledge, because knowledge is power in that sense, but not in a malicious sense. He likes like learning about other people, about other cultures and everything, and that's kind of what leads him to coming to the overworld. The overworld, that sounds like he's from the Nether. But that's what leads him on like the journey that how he like, because you know, he's from a very different world than everyone else, although some characters are just from very different worlds and like somehow they come across each other. I don't think more people would do well in the Nether either. No, for sure not. For sure not. bum, bum. Let me just think of like the character design that we have for Kira. Already a very different like facial structure. Ooh, hello. Because again, this was a style that I kind of like spearheaded just for that drawing once. And I haven't since. So I do wonder if this is like a bit... This doesn't quite work out. But then again, I guess this all needs to be like character design that I kind of get into, right? Is his nose too big? I feel like his nose is too big. Boop. Sort of, like that. Currently doing traditional art. Keep trying to hit the undo button. Oh, I do that so much. I do that so much. Lava mermaids. Ooh. Oh, that is something similar to a concept that we had, but that reminds me of a concept that we had years ago. Of like creatures that reside in lava. Bum, bum, ba-da-dum, dum, dum. There we go. That's fair. And so Adamir has like all these, oh, I've got to live up to my dad, I've got to become king someday, oh my goodness. But he also has like, what is it, 12 brothers and 1 sister, all younger than him. And they're like, they're training to be knights because there's like, well, he's the heir and they're going to be like his royal consort kind of thing. And so they're training to be knights. So like, imagine like Adamir, who's not really getting a lot of physical training because he's like meant to be, you know, the political leader and have like amass a lot of knowledge and that sort of thing. Whereas like his brother's training is very much focusing in like the tactical and the physical. So I think like him, he's not, he definitely gets physical training, but it's not his forte either. He just prefers to, you know, sit in books and learn about other people, other cultures and stuff. Where his brothers are like the jocks. I think he's the nerd. He's the science nerd, and his brothers are the jocks. But they're also like all a bunch of himbos. They're really sweet, and they're there to protect him. But he does not look like the oldest brother. He does not look like the oldest brother. He looks like the scrawnier youngest. And then their very youngest sibling is their sister, who is basically Ariel. She's basically an excuse to have Ariel in our story. Currently writing a bibliography for an essay and just came across a book published in Switzerland, that's all. Cool. Books were published in this country, really? I did not know that. So that's kind of like Adamir's background as the story begins. Like his base. And I kind of like how his face looks. I think that works. Book. Books don't exist in Switzerland. Exactly. Exactly. I'm just going to quickly, because you guys made me chug, I need to go and refill my water bottle. And I also need to take a quick bathroom break. So I'll be right back. Can I run an ad break? I cannot, because we've just had an ad. Okay, I'll be right back, guys. See you in a sec. You guys know I can read chat, right? Once I come back. you know that's, you know, right? Setting out, well, I would have run ads while you guys were, you know, while we were, since you were waiting, right? Multi was roaming through. I'm a sellout. Wow. It is once per stream. The track, yes. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Give me a sec. Repro streams and stuff. How the Hermit's been trying to run ads. A lot of actions happening. Yeah, that's what kind of like. That's what my thought was, Henry. That's literally how my brain worked. I was like, wait, I could do that too. Redeem to mute chat temporary. I mean, yeah. And you could make me switcheroo. Nothing happened. Don't need to read chat. Sprechen Sie Deutsch. We can always speak a bit German. Bye, Henry. Have a wonderful rest of your day, my dude. You're such angels. You're the biggest angels here. Right, let's have a look. Let's see. I didn't really use... Oh, you know, I used the little eyelashes for Kira down here. I don't think that makes sense for Adamir. How about some music? A musical interlude? What should we sing? What should we be singing? What's been going on in my brain recently? What have I been singing? Such an angel, just started up again. You are all such angels, of course, of course. Boop, boop, boop. We've been listening to Epic again on the thing. Epic the musical? What song? Which song should we do? I can't help. Get in the water. Get in the water. I don't think I can get the intensity, but sure we can try. I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike. When you're home so close, you have reached your coast. That's when I'll strike. Oh, that's when our paths collide. Let me get back to the screen. I've started drawing again. I've got a reputation. I've got a name to uphold, so I can't let go when you walk, or else the world forgets I'm cold. Now get in the water. Get in the water. The American accent, we love it. Or I'll raise the tide so high, all of Ithaca will die. Get in the water. Get in the water. Don't mistake my fretful bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water. There we go. Goes with Sushi. Need a full Epic the Musical album from me. Just a man. I'm just a man who's trying to go home. Even after all the years away from what I've known. I want to do an original character animatic to Just a Man, where it goes to the point of, but when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become a blaze? And it would be like, and it's an original character animatic that I've planned, and it would be when it sings, when does a comet become a meteor? It would be Kira, who's our star mage. When does a candle become a blaze? Would be, I'm thinking either Tsorak or Rain, because they both have like, I'll say they have connections to fire. That's all I'll say. When does a man become a monster? Would be Logan, for reasons that I can't tell you yet. And then when does a ripple become a tidal wave? Would be Adamir, because Merman. When does the reason become the blame? Would be Chinoa, for reasons. When does a man become a monster? Would be Zorak or Rain. So I haven't decided on Zorak or Rain because both fire and monster work well for Rain and Zorak for different reasons. But Just a Man is because of an outsider's edit of Owen. By Owen? I don't know. We love Epic. Epic's so good. I think we know we're talking about Owen's shoes. Imagine Owen being in the next live series. He'd lure the heck out of it. Right. When does a cabbage? What cabbage? Why cabbage? When does a cabbage become a monster? I guess if you destroy them enough. My cabbages! Cabbage? Did I miss something? When does cabbage become a tidal wave? When an avatar knocks into it and throws over the cabbage barrel. Okay. I want to do some hair for Adamir. do we give him a widow's peak? Does that make him look old? I think it makes him look old. It could be fun. Go play D&D. Enjoy D&D, Nini. Enjoy. Thanks for hanging out. When does the cabbage become uranium? When does the cabbage become uranium? That turned into titanium there. Shoot me down, but I won't fall. I am uranium. And that could be... I'm not saying widow's peak, I'm saying like the... Dang it. Because I basically, when I'm doing like hair lines, I just do the straight line. I don't do anything else ever. Or like circle. It'd be fun to do something else. If I were to do it to different characters. Oh, Zorak could be fun. Have that. When does the cabbage... What the heck is happening to chat? This is derailing. Let's just give him like a base hairline for this. Like a head shape in this sketch so we can figure out hairs. Hairs? Hairs, yes. When does a uranium become a sushi prince? What the heck? I like the way his hair is, I will say. I don't think a lot has to change. It's basically the way I used to draw Pearl's hair. Order, you demand order. Order, order, order in the court. Order, 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 order in the court. If you got that reference, you are cool. Name that musical. I could just do Pearl hair, but like straighter. Because Jude just has long straight hair. That's not... Darn, you're not cool. No. Order, order, order in the court. Order, 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 order in the court. Haven't seen the epic misheard lyrics? Does cabbage? What is comet? A cabbage? Comet. Do you hear cabbage with comet? Really? I'm intrigued now. Epic. Epic. Okay, okay. But when... If anything, I verstehe. Wow, I'm in German. If anyone does Telemarketing King become tequila? Does a cabbage become a meteor? And does candle a cabbage? I don't hear it. I don't hear it, but sure. And does the Wii remote become a comet? I don't... Okay. Sure. It's a Switch controller, sure. I'm just a Switch controller. Just trying to go home. Even after all the years away from what I've known. I like that little twip there. Basically, he's got such floppy hair. He has the flop. And I like the flop. The flop is fun. Because that gives you so much space to do awesome stuff with his hair. Like really cool hairstyles. And he's like one of the people with the longest hair. Like, he's got longer hair than Kira, maybe? Hiya, box cat. Hello, hello, my dude. I don't know who he reminds me of here. Because like underwater, think how Ariel gets tangled up in her hair, but it's made look aesthetic. Bye, Blue Jay. Enjoy the basketball game. So think how like Ariel's hair gets tangled up all the time, right? I think that for, well, not tangled up, but how it's just all over the place. And you'd think realistically she'd kind of get stuck in it more often. That's kind of my thought process when thinking about the merpeople. Yes, they'd have long hair, because I can see that as being a status symbol, but it would be very intricately braided for events and stuff, so that it wouldn't be floating about. But I can also see it be like a beauty ideal. We're talking merpeople culture here. I can see it being beauty ideal if your hair just perfectly flows in the water. Does that make sense? So maybe even they've got like, maybe this is like a mer person from the back, and their hair goes down here. Maybe they've got it tied together like that, so that it all kind of stays together. Oh, that would be really cool. Seems they got in the water. They did. 'Cause he raised the tide so high. Plot twist. The merpeople are just Ithacans that got drowned by Poseidon and learned how to swim. I like that idea. I like the idea of like the hair being tied together at the bottom here and just kind of being like a loose. I think we go for that. I think we go with that for Adamir. For now. Because basically, that's another part of him. Like, you've got all this, like, formal wear and all these customs and stuff. And he doesn't really care for them. He's just happy to wear his hair loose and not really think about, like, what he's wearing or what his hair looks like. But I can see that being kind of like a workaround for his hair not being all over the place. But also kind of being, let me just draw this from this perspective. Working like more practically in an everyday sense. Maybe as like a compromise between him and his dad, where it's like not hugely formal, but still not very messy. I like that. What kind of outfit are we putting him in then? We could give him his crown, which is made of corals. We could just make him shirtless, like apparently I make the merpeople. I really like this outfit here. This is like a formal outfit I drew on paper a while back. OC with a live parent, impossible. Yes. A surprising amount of our OC's parents are alive. A surprising amount of our OC's parents have abandoned our OCs, but yes. Shiftless. Shiftless. Let's make him shiftless. Now, people probably don't think how heavy wet hair is. Yes. There is actually, hold on. I've got a notebook right here. I've got a sketchbook right next to me that I took this picture from. We're gonna enter scuffed view in a second. This is from a this is from a 2020 challenge. From a 2020 original character art challenge called Quarantober. And on day 3 the prompt was wet. Are you ready for cursed image? And I drew Adamir. Wet. He used to be blonde and green-eyed. So yeah. But just imagine like how long hair could be if you don't have to think about it weighing you down. And like from a cultural sense, harpies are like, hello. Harpies are like the opposite of that. Oh, wrong button, wrong button. Harpies are the opposite of that because they need to fly through the air, right? And so they need to be very aerodynamic. So very often they have very short hair or shaved heads. The harpies. Genoa's hair is relatively long for harpy length. Your main OC never had parents, so they were born as a manifestation of chaotic energy. But most of the others do. All merpeople have either evolved strong necks or scoliosis. What's scoliosis again? Your OC Barnes got her parents still, and they're very disappointed. Yeah, that's well, Adamir's dad isn't necessarily disappointed. He's not like stoic disappointed in the beginning of How to Train a Dragon. He's just like, boy, get it together. For goodness sake, this is your fate. You can't really do much about it, so just please, just try your best. And Adamir's like, I'm trying my best, but I don't want to do it exactly how you're doing it. Your bones stop boning. For some reason, Twitch did not like the word bone. Oh, I can see why Twitch did not like the word bone. Yeah, automod. But your spine is curved? I can see his spine being relatively curved. Let's move him up a bit. We'll make him a bit more... Oh, hello, I've just removed his... Look, no hair, hair, no hair, hair, no hair, hair. Okay. Merge these two down, why not? You can understand what... Yeah, I didn't think at first. We're going to ignore the fact that I didn't think. Let us move this down here so that we can make Adamir a bit bigger. Boop. Let's hide some of these reference images. Kira up just as like a reference of what our characters can look like. I'm happy with how he's looking so far. I'm happy with where we're going with this. Okay, now, here's the question. Hi, Theo. Here's the question. How are we going to make him look merman-y? Because originally, we'll get these things up. Basically, he's kind of got like kind of an ear, kind of like fish fin. What I've done so far, and gills on his neck. But I don't know if I want to continue that. I want to try some different things that is not that. Your friend's got 2 OCs that are just based on the way you play Minecraft. A goddess and the other is Merlin. And Merlin, aww. I thought about the bone structure of merpeople and harpies. I've thought a surprising amount about this when we had anatomy and like biodiversity as modules, where you go through the different where you go basically through the tree of life. And I've had many thoughts. So not necessarily the bone structure. Well, in a sense, the bone structure. So I've thought of harpies because they're really tall. They're like 2 meters tall on average. So Genoa's pretty average height for a harpy. but they can fly, so they need to be really light. So they've got hollow bones, just like birds, and that comes into play quite a bit in the story. They have like a really high metal content in their blood, because they can manifest that, because they need to eat really iron-rich things. They're almost carnivorous, and their like habitat where they come from is a very iron-rich soil or copper-rich soil, and they take that from the nutrients that they get, and they kind of focus it, they concentrate it into creating metal feathers, and basically that's how they fight. They can eject some of their metal feathers as throwing knives, and it's not necessarily just copper. It's like an interesting alloy which makes it really light metal. So harpy armor is incredibly sought after, and it's made out of harpy. It's incredibly resistant to attacks. It's very strong, but it's very light. And so harpies can shed their feathers and make armor out of it. And having like a suit of your own armor is, you have one in your life, and not every harpy gets that. And so they're very revered. And out of that reason, harpies were hunted by humans as like game. And they were incredibly difficult to kill, but they were hunted to what was believed to be extinction. But they were able to flee to another continent where they exist in current times. And so, yeah, so harpy feathers were very revered, and you'd have like armor out of their feathers. And that was like, if a human had a harpy set of armor, that would firstly be incredibly like an insult to harpy culture, but that wasn't really considered by humans in the past. But you were then very revered by human culture, because you're like, wow, you were able to take down a harpy warrior and take their armor from them. Or you were able to kill enough harpies to make the armor yourself. So that kind of thing. Anyway, the question was about merpeople as well. So you know how fish have a swim bladder that most likely evolved into lungs? Or like our common ancestor with fish had something that in fish evolved into the swim bladder and evolved into lungs for us, kind of. I'm kind of not going into all the detail for this, but that's basically the TLDR on that. And so merpeople, they have kind like a swim bladder. Has the music gone bye-bye? We no more music. Music bye-bye? No, we do. It's just very quiet. So merpeople kind of have that. They have like a mix between a swim bladder in fish is so that they can regulate the depth at which they can swim. So they can kind of like stay at a certain level in the water without floating up or floating down. And merpeople have basically lungs and swim bladders in one organ so that they can breathe air, but also be underwater. Like breathe underwater through their gills, right? So that's kind of like, they've got two ways to breathe. They can either breathe through their gills when they're underwater, quote unquote breathe, and then they have this swim bladder lung combination thing that lets them breathe above water. And this is very important because I wanted it to be, and this is me, biology brain, thinking, how can these fantasy species work? I wouldn't have to explain this, right? It's not like Epic the Musical explains why sirens can breathe over water. But this is very important to me because I want it to make sense, because if you see in some of these drawings where Adamir has legs, he still has gills in his fish ears, right? And this comes into the whole story of how Adamir gets legs. They're given to him by Kira. They're given to him by Kira, and I think I explained this in Kira's stream. She's a mage, and she uses like the energy of the stars to siphon from and do her magic with, and she's incredibly experimental with her magic and doing all sorts of things. And one of those things No. Adamir would have very short legs if that was the case, because Kira is a short queen. So Kira met Adamir and basically saw him as like not necessarily experiment or like a guinea pig to experiment on, but there's a reason why Adamir kind of wants to walk on land. He wants to experience the land world and their culture, because he believes his dad is very isolationist, whereas like, yes, no, we need to focus on just our kingdom and our kingdom only, and every outsider is not good. America first kind of thing. But not like his dad isn't the tyrant. His dad is not a tyrant. He does it for his people, and his people are very important to him. And he's a very good king, but he just has different values to Adamir, and Adamir's like, no, I wanna go out and I wanna explore the world, understand different cultures. She volunteered someone else's eggs. Maybe. Not so selfless after all. No, for sure not. So, So Adamir is like, no, I want to experience like other cultures and how they view the world, gather different perspectives, because only then can you really understand how to be the best leader for your people that you can be. And so Adamir wants to basically explore the land world at some point. Oh, Hydra, you have no idea. So, yeah, so Kira's like, right, let's give you legs then so you can come and explore the land world. And I think I don't know if this is set in stone, and this is like a side part of the story that definitely isn't set in stone, but we had this idea of Rain volunteering as tribute for her to test her magic on, because Kira's like, Adamir's a prince. I've only just met him. I don't know how I feel about testing my magic on someone I've just met. And Rain's like, I will volunteer for you to test your magic. And she basically turns Rain into a centaur at some point, until she then finds out how it works. Figures out how it works. And then she's able to give Adamir legs. And, I don't know, have I done this in drawings? Oh, you can kind of see it. Maybe a little bit. So Kira's pendant here around her neck that you can only barely see, right? Love listening to the ramblings of storytellers. I'm glad you do, because I like telling about them. So Kira has this pendant here. Pardon me. Does exploring all lands include the Harpies continent? He does. He does go there at some point in the story, in the current set of the story. A spider tour. Oh my gosh, that would be so cool. Yeah, she totally turns Rain into a spider tour. Give me a sec, guys. I'm just going to mute up and cough. There we go. Throat got squitchy. And so you see this pendant around Kira's neck. This is how she gathers like the energy for her magic. And so obviously Adamir having legs requires energy, like constant energy. And so she gives him a pendant as well. But he has to keep on, because if he doesn't, he'll turn into a merman again. And that's a juicy part of the story, I tell you. that serves for some conflict and some tension in some certains. Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to do to Adamir? Ba-dum. That's not going to have foreseeable consequences at all. Exactly. Part of me is really tempted to just tell you guys the story, because I think we're going to rework it. I think there's going to be some reworking of the story. because it's been a hot minute since we like talked it through, and I think we've all kind of improved in our storytelling or like our understanding on how one should tell stories. And there's definitely some things that I want to change in this story that just don't really work. So yeah, I part of me, yes. Consequences? What consequences? When will you learn that your actions have consequences? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to give him kind of like this royal outfit that he has on here. I think that works. Simple enough. Still quite nice. I will say the merpeople's outfits are kind of Greek inspired. Gosh, that's a big shoulder, mate. That's better. Your head is kind of like off center. Hold up. Hold up. I have drawn you completely off center. Whoop. That's better. And then maybe your body's too small compared to your head. Anatomy. We don't quite understand how it works. We just try our best and fuss around. Anatomy. Kind of like that. Right. This gives us plenty of real estate to figure out if we want to do some gills and ears. Because there comes a point in the story where Adamir has to pose as a human. He does a really bad job of it, but it needs to be convincing enough for him to think that he's doing a good job. So if he has big fish ears that poke out like this, I think that's a hopeless job anyway. So let's plonk you. Let's make you actually give you dark layers. Let's make your layers dark. And then we can kind of see if there's anything we would like to change. His eyes, he's a bit cross-eyed right now. Oop, let's move your pupil a bit. Bit better. Hello, fellow humans. How do you do? Oh, yeah. I think his neck's too long. I think this is the issue that I'm having with him. Or I'm so used to his hair like going over his shoulders, not being tied in the back like this, that this confuddles me. This may be better. Okay. Let us get some. And I think along those lines we're going to have to move this hair over here. Okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, that's the thing. God, they do not look human though. Man. So this is kind of like, okay, so the evolution of his ear has been something like this. First it was kind of like literally just fish ear that you see a lot. I think that's what I did for Scott in Battle Cry. And then kind of like, we kind of had like a mix of a normal ear and then like add like fish parts to it. That's what I did for a long time. Like that. Should we get Pinterest for inspiration? Let's see what Pinterest has to say for itself. I still haven't saved Pinterest. Oh my gosh. I need to save it as on my favorites bar. The amount of times that I poddle on, please tell me I'm logged in. I'm logged in, yeah. Look at what my home feed has given me. They're so cute. Oh, sorry. Did Pinterest do crimes? Because it's not on my board. I don't know. Hello? Mermaid character. Hello. I can't type today. Mermaid character design. Let's see what stuff has to offer. So yeah, I see a lot of where it's just kind of like the, Oh, I can't go to the next chart. Oh, Pinterest, you annoy me. Ooh, nice. That's a nice design. Coffee or tea? You enjoy your hot beverage, my dude. Yeah, it's all kind of like fins like this. Or nothing. Or human. Bum, 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 bum. What's this one? Can I zoom in on that? That's kind of something. Ooh, hello. You've zoomed in too far. Ooh. Oh, I kind of like the kind of pokiness. This. I like this style here. Dude. Oh my gosh. I don't think I'm much the wiser. Science convention was their excuse. What? Oh, we're talking about Ninja Turtles here. Preemptively called the A from that message. Love that. I don't want just human ears. But you know what we could do? Is we could give him ears like this, but we could give him a hat. I'm thinking when Star Trek goes into the past, right? And like the Vulcans have to wear hats. Anyone watch Star Trek and see episodes like that? Spock. Hat. Oh, this wasn't what I was expecting. I've just got a bunch of wigs. Yeah, so can I do full screen? Open link in new tab. And so they'd have like hats on like this to hide the ears. So if we could do something like that in that scene. So maybe this isn't... Oh, hello. Undo. Maybe this isn't too bad, this here. Let's maybe do a better job of it. I like the kind of how pokey it was for the last one. Or headband, yeah, exactly. Let me just quickly shape out the shape that I kind of want his ear to take. If his ear were human, you have no idea how wrong this looks on Adamir. So if that's like the base of his ear, think like... like merfolk here on there. Because another thing about the merfolk is that they've got these like coral crowns that could really like be an ornament to their ears almost. I love all the things that Star Trek characters have to do if they're like thrown into the past, like Earth's past. I think Bajoran Kira and Bajorans have like ridges on their nose. She had to like wear a plaster over her nose. Oh, wow, there's all sorts of stuff that they've done. No, I kind of like that. Okay, I'm winning myself over with this idea again of like having ear and then fish gills. Let's see, how could like the anatomy of that work though? Why does it take that shape? How would it fall from the 2D into the 3D? And how would that work with my style? That's the thing with merfolk. They are kind of like design-wise based on dolphins. So they are... I mean, this goes into another question of... I'm probably thinking about this way too much. But they're mammals, if that makes sense. They have pregnancies and they have birth. They don't lay eggs. And so they're kind of like their designs are like loosely based off of aquatic mammals, right? So not off of fish. People think his gills are just horrible injuries. Scarf? Maybe? Maybe kind of like cover that with a scarf. Depending on where the gills are. Because I think it is a cool design to have the gills here on the neck. But I've also seen like really cool designs of having the gills behind the ears. And I think that would make more sense. Or like on the chest. And it's kind of like a question of what would anatomically make sense versus what would look cool. And on the neck obviously would look cool. So, I don't know. Oh, these could be like perfect spaces for like earrings. Bum bum. Hiya bee. Hello, hello. Why not both pure air? Premium even? Because that wouldn't make sense in an evolutionary sense. In my brain. No, I think design-wise it has to go on the neck because you could do so much with that. How deep do merfolk live? So it depends on the merfolk. Cordelian is relatively deep underwater, which is why this boy is pale as anything, skin tone-wise. But there are, and I've wanted to talk about their folk for a bit, because there's not just merfolk. You have sirens as well. Think of the fan art. Think of the fan art. Hey, well, if people make fan art of this series and put the guild somewhere else, I will not be mad. I'd be like completely honored if people made fan art of our characters or made their own OCs in this world. So we have merfolk and we also have sirens. And this is some real lore that I don't know if I'm allowed to tell you guys yet, but I'm going to because it's world building and I think it's really fun. So, there are these ancient beings in our story and they're worshipped like gods, even though they're not gods. They're not immortal. They didn't create anything. They're more protectors of the realm. And they're called ancient beings because they are really strong magic users. They like they create their own magics out of nothing. Kira isn't one. She uses the magic of another ancient being, the ancient being of the night and of starlight, called Aesel. So Kira uses the magic of Aesel because she's got an affinity for it. And different cultures have different ancient beings that they worship. And you've got the ancient being of the ocean called Yara. And their name is spelled like this. And she's kind of like fallen into legend as like a sea witch. Because there were these merfolk that were like born with a genetic defect, where they'd have like fish scales. Sam remembers Yara. They had these fish scales instead of merfolk. Normally, like I said, they're inspired by dolphins and seals. So think like really smooth tails of a dolphin, like no scales, right? They've kind of got that, their fins have that texture. You choose T, let's go. I've been talking about lore. And so you have these sirens, or you have these merfolk that are born with a genetic defect. Instead of having like a smooth tail, they have fish scales on their tail. And that's kind of seen as a curse. And it comes with kind of like other what's it called? It comes with other side effects. And Yara took pity on these people because they were often cast out of society or like not treated as well as other people because they were seen to be like cursed by some sort of dark being. And so Yara took pity on them and was like, I'm going to give them some of my magic so that they can like be better and be more like well understood. And so she gave the sirens this hypnotic voice so that they could make people understand what they go through. Now, very many sirens took advantage of this because once an ancient being teaches their magic to someone, they can't take that back. So a lot of sirens took advantage of this and tried to stage a coup, and then they were cast out. So every time that a kid is born with fish scales, they're seen to be cursed and they're seen to be a siren and they're cast out. And the sirens are generally just cast out and they live somewhere else. I mean, the tail will be vertical instead of horizontal because it represents a fish instead of a dolphin. All tails are horizontal. Well, actually, maybe... Hold on, I've thought about this before. I haven't designed the sirens yet, so that is actually definitely a design point that could exist. And also their tail fin colours are a lot more colourful. Like, the tail fin colours of merfolk are usually kind of different tones of blues and greys like you see on dolphins and seals and marine mammals. But sirens have all sorts of coloured tails, like hot pinks, oranges, all the colours. And so, yeah, that's another thing that kind of visually has them be different, right? And they actually look a lot more quote-unquote friendly at first sight because they're so much more colourful, and they pretend to be friendly, the sirens, but they do just want to drown you if you're a sailor, right? And their whole thing is that their whole goal is they have this vendetta against the merfolk, and they want to make them pay. And yeah, they've been mistreated for a long time, and this is something that Adamir doesn't know about. This is like a state secret that kids don't learn about, and a lot of like merfolk don't know about themselves. Like if a mermaid gives birth to a fish scale baby, it's taken away without much explanation. And this is kind of like a dark side of Cordelian that Adamir doesn't know about yet, but he will learn about it in the course of the story. Does the woman also get enchanted, or only the man sailors? Everyone gets enchanted. It's got nothing to do with what your sexual orientation is. everyone's enchanted because they don't lure you necessarily with the promise of romance. They lure you with your greatest desire. And they hypnotize you off the side. It has nothing to do with like traditional sirens of, oh, I'm a beautiful woman, come and find me. No, they get everyone. They even get merfolk. So yeah, they can enchant all sorts of people. And lead them to their doom, and that's why they're cast out very soon. Or if their greatest desire is avoiding sirens, then they make you think that you are avoiding sirens by jumping in the water. That's how they hypnotize you. That's how they hypnotize you. Dang. So I love the merfolk. I want to do more with them. I want to kind of draw them more, talk more about them, because they're just. It's one of the things where like there's just generations of misunderstanding, and because babies are cast out and then adopted by the sirens, because then the sirens then raise these babies that are cast out, right? So they're not like evil, intrinsically evil. They've just been mistreated, and that's why there's a lot of hate there, a lot of malice, and it'll take quite a lot of wounds to be healed for there to be an understanding between the two peoples, or it'll come to a head into an all-out ocean war. So so you've basically wasted your one choice of your greatest desire. Yeah, don't avoid the sirens. They will give you anything you wish for. And they will lead you to your death by doing that. No one is immune to the charm condition, exactly. Well, actually, there are, I think, 2 people currently in the story. 2 people who are immune to the siren's charm. And that's all you're getting. One is Sam. No. Oh. You wasted your wish on something that won't protect you. Yeah. Okay. We've got to put gills on his neck. I mean, come on. Right? That's how this works. Character design goes over functionality sometimes. Because that actually makes a lot of sense, because there'll be a lot of water flowing through here. Can only imagine how funny it would be for them to mistake Adamir for human and he simply won't drown. What? You need to hear their voices, because if so, anyone who is deaf would be immune. Ooh, touche. I guess I did originally plan for it to be voices. I've not thought about that. That's given me some food for thought. Because that would be cool. And if you stuff honey wax into your ear so you can't hear. Honey wax, beeswax. We filled our ears with beeswax. That's how we resist your song. Yeah, that makes sense. So maybe more than 2 people are immune, but 2 people who can hear. 2 people who can hear. What if you tell the siren you're deaf? You could always tie yourself to the mast. Exactly. You pretended to be my wife, so I just played along. Oh, dudes, like, guys. There's a section involving sirens that I think is one of my favorite parts of the story. And that's all I can tell you. Oh. What about sound waves though? Music is loud enough you can feel it. Ooh. So if the sirens had powerful enough voice, you would feel the voice instead of hearing it. get you that way. Ooh, Hydra. That is a really, really cool concept. I love that. I think the sirens are fascinating. What if you don't have any nerves, like at all? So you feel nothing. If you have no nerves at all, and you couldn't live like that, could you? Because you couldn't move, right? Can you move without having nerves? Is that possible? But on a boat, the vibration would be mixed with the ones of the sea and the boat's movements. Yeah, you've got anti-siren or siren detection technology. They avoid waters where sirens frequent. They're not really, they don't really go out and search the seas for sailors to drown. It's just a case if the sailors enter their space, if sailors get anywhere in their, I want to say habitat, but that's wrong, in their region, in the place that they live, then they will drown that boat. Music and sign language is awesome. Does it have like something, yeah, expressive, right? Like a lot of movements. You can evade the sirens if you're already dead. That is true. But then you'll have Halvor to deal with if you die, who will judge you. See, isn't really vibration, you'd think, more rocking? Not necessarily vibrating the boat, but don't claim to be an expert on this. The thing is, you've got sound waves, and sound waves proliferate? Gosh, I don't know how to pronounce that. Through different mediums differently, right? Like if you think you have a boombox on like a lake, right? You see the waves that the sound is making on the water, and sound travels differently through water. There's a different medium. So if we're talking vibrations, it would have to be vibrations in the air, because I think the ocean would already be like too loud in all the other waves, the physical waves that you have crashing into the boat and then being dampened by the wooden hull of the boat, right? If we're going physics here. I don't claim to know too much about physics. But if they're like above water and they're singing in the air, there's not as much obscuring, like air is a far easier medium to move through, which is why you can't hear very well underwater. Sound moves a lot easier through air. Unless they use echolocation underwater, something like echolocation with like high clicks to get you. Just know if you have a strong urge to get in the water, don't. Welcome back, Molly. Hello, hello. You sound stuff in theatre, that's correct. Kill! Moves a lot past the sea and hits the boat on the side, maybe makes a lot of noises already, yeah. And if you've got sound waves that strong, then they have a capability of actually moving the boat itself. Because if the sound waves are that, can sound waves be like a physical manifestation? Or is that just me being in fantasy land? Like as physical, like air beating against, because I'm thinking if they're that strong, they could tip the boat, and then there's just no chance for anyone. If they're that determined. But I feel like that's a bit too overpowered if they were able to do that. I like the more subtlety of sailors voluntarily jumping off the edge. Well, quote unquote voluntarily. Sound waves are literally just moving air. They can? Oh, interesting. What if Siren's power is a mix of voices, body language, and eyes temptations? If one's sense is obscure, then it makes the power less effective, but still working? Yeah, there's a lot of considerations. I mean, sailors generally do just avoid waters where they know there are sirens. But that doesn't stop our adventurers. That doesn't stop our adventurers necessarily. That's some really interesting world building parts there. Yeah, that's why you can really feel a strong base. True. It'll shake something. True. Is it the same concept that shatters glass if you're at a certain frequency? Technically, physically, once you get loud enough, yes. Have to have a ridiculously powerful voice. I mean, their voice is magically enhanced by the ancient being of the ocean. So, you know. They have magical voices. We fill our ears with beeswax. How we resist your song. You pretended to be my wife, so I just played along. So it's canon that Adamir does just have like a hat and a scarf when he's posing as a human. And it's canon that it also doesn't work. But these are wonky. Ba-dum, ba-dum, bum, bum. Collarbone, because I forgot to do that. Right. We give him some colour. I think with Adamir's with a top hat. Cannon top hat. Honestly, I don't know what kind of hats. I guess straw hats would be common in the place that he's trying to masquerade as a human. Like, think your typical cottagecore, like, gorgeously woven straw hats. With bows. Well, hello there, fellow humans. I love walking on my legs. Oh, that's also a whole process. He has to learn how to walk. We filled our ears with beeswax. Farmer girl Adamir. Oh my god. Yes. Exactly. He looks so amazing. He has no concept of what humans wear, so he could just be put into a dress and he'd be like, this is perfectly normal, this is what I'd wear underwater. Because it's not like they have trousers in... It's not like the merpeople have trousers. Okay, let's get his colour palette. Would you steal someone's legs? Would you steal a car? Let's see. So, I don't know if I, like, kept Kira's colour palette here. I think I did. So let's see how we feel about Adamir's colour palette here. Colour him in with his original colour palette. And see how we feel about it. And whether we want to change anything. Because I think we had this conversation of he was too tan. Because look at, like, Kira's skin colour. Versus... Hello? Yeah, look at Kira's skin colour versus Adamir. I mean, Kira is canonically nocturnal with her magic. But Adamir lives in the deep sea, so... Well, not the deep sea, but deep enough for light to not be able to penetrate very far. So if you think about kind of like how skin works, if that makes sense. How, like, historically people get darker skin... And like genetically and stuff, right? People who are more exposed to more intense sunlight usually have darker skin than people who aren't. So in theory, Adamir should have really, really light skin. You wouldn't download legs. How do merpeople cope with so little light? The same way as fish cope with so little light. They don't necessarily need it. Not like they do photosynthesis. But I think they are, like, at a level where... Because solely on, like, character design and, like, world building design, I think we do need them to be low enough for there still to be light. So... Or not too low so that you, like, light doesn't penetrate anymore. I am so excited for like fluorescent nightlights in Cordelian, the merpeople's home kingdom. I'm so excited for like fluorescent light designs. Or I guess bioluminescence. Sorry, bioluminescence. It's gonna be so fun. Hiya, Cherry. Hello, hello, my dude. There's so much that I want to do world building wise. Like architecture designs and clothing and building. I think I just get like... I get so overwhelmed at what a culture could be. And this is something that Zemon's really good at, is like understanding different cultures. Oh, Sam's voice has been stolen. Sam has no voice. Thank you. Finally, Sam is silenced. Oh. Must be surprised by all the exotic things on land like shoes, yeah. It's really interesting, like him, Chinoa, and Torag aren't really part of like the normal world, if that makes sense. They have all these experiences and they're very similar, but in very different ways, if that makes sense. Call me also like oh. Oh, Zim, your response tickled me. Can I have a tone with Sam's voice? Ah, ah. Kind of want to make his hair a little bit more messy. Bum 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 bada 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 bum. And so this is where disparity always. Welcome back, Mango. Back from the mountains. Ooh, you had a nice week in the mountains. Good for you. Yes, Sam's voice has been stolen by a siren. Finally been silenced. And we're drawing Adamir. So last time when we drew Kira... Oh, I'm drawing this on the wrong layer. No, I'm drawing this on the right layer. I just drew on the wrong layer before. Me. Before we drew Kira and like Mango really related to Kira. Exactly. I guess you are, Artie. Because that's... We were kind of talking about the sirens. With their voices. Oh, I guess it wasn't... We weren't talking about stealing voices. You're drawing back to Kira. We're talking about Kira. And we're talking about Adamir because we were drawing Adamir next. Because we drew Kira 6 months ago. This was 6 months ago. and now we're kind of like we're talking about Adamir. And I thought when I was kind of like when you were saying like I relate so much to Kira, I thought interesting because you relate to Kira, and I always thought you look like Adamir's design because he's got brown straight hair. That was kind of like yeah, that was kind of what was going in my brain, like, oh, you relate so much to Kira. Well, I have another character that you could maybe relate to. A little bit disappointed, but Adamir's also here. He's our boy. He's our sushi prince. Clipping mask. Bum, 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 bum. Come on, let's give Sam his voice back. Box. Let's give Sam's voice back. Come on, guys. Let's not be meanies. Because otherwise Sam's gonna have revenge. Sam's gonna get revenge. Give points. Wait, you can give channel points? You give your points to someone? You can have it back? Sam, you get your voice back then, I guess. You got it back? Yay. Stream elements, I don't understand. I don't understand Twitch things. You have no points to give? But you said you had so many. I said it was nice as well. I said both of that. Right, Adamir, your hair. Yeah, I'm good with that. Kind of like a desaturated brown. Dude, it's gone through so many like iterations of like colors, because like his overall look hasn't changed that much. For like Chinoa's look, for instance. I mean, Rain's look. Rain swapped genders. Has changed a lot. But Adamir's look hasn't changed a lot, but his like his color palette has over the years. I say that though. Do you guys want to see the very first drawing I have? Command mind is disabled. I don't understand Twitch commands. And Stream Elements keeps breaking on me. You have 0 points. I have to see the first Adamir drawing. This was back when they weren't really characters. I could show you guys the first Kira drawing as well, since we're at it. First time I ever drew them. Because this wasn't back when they were actual characters. They were just like fantasy beings on an Inktober prompt list. So we had like fantasy beings that we gave to an Inktober prompt list, and we all drew like these different characters. How good am I at using the other hand? Not good. Don't do this to me, I'm not good. Please. That would not be nice. No. No, Artie. Don't do it. No. No. Oh, where's my phone? I'm gonna set a timer for 5 minutes. 5 more minutes. 5 minutes. Set a timer for I just got distracted by a message in my phone. No, I've got my thing in my left hand. Oh my gosh. Oh, hello. I've already pressed the wrong button. Give me his hair back. His hair color. Ugh. Give points command isn't channel points, it's loyalty points. Oh, a Stream Elements thing. Okay. God doesn't have access to you. Stream Elements is confusing. And I think like Twitch has its own like make your own commands thing nowadays, so I might just like not do the Stream Elements thing anymore and just Twitch. Get rid of Stream Elements. I need a different eraser. There we go. This is so hard. And I'm even colouring. I mean, I'm thankful nobody redeemed it while I was doing line art, because that's the worst. Literally can't use anything that I've done line art to. And I'm doing it with my left hand. That's too small. You know what? I'm just going to colour it in and then erase it. I think that's easier. Oh, but erasing needs precision as well. No. Okay. Oh, I like him. He's a cutie pie. He's got grey eyes. Boop. Really light eyes. Boop, 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 boop. When are these 5 minutes over? And let's see. The colours that his thing had were kind of like a... So, by the way, guys, this drawing here, I love this drawing here. Because I was able to use, like, really expensive... Oh, sprechen Sie Deutsch? Ein bisschen Deutsch. Wieso Schweizerdeutsch? Auch noch. Also Mango, wie es Tradition ist, wenn ich Deutsch sprechen muss auf ein Original Character Ding. Was willst du für Spoiler? Was kann ich dir für juicy Sachen geben? musst aber versprechen, dass du es niemand weiter sagst. Ja, genau. Genau, so ist es, Boxcat. Genau so ist es. Ich könnte... Schauen wir mal. Was könnte ich dir sagen? Wir hatten es gerade letztens davon. Ich weiß gar nicht, warst du dabei, als wir über Sirenen geredet haben? Ich hatte davon, dass nur 2 Leute können die Magie von den Sirenen sozusagen nicht, also sie sind nicht beeinflusst von den Sirenen, von ihrer Magie. Nur 2 Leute. Wieso sind seine Augen grau? Weil die Augen seiner Mutter grau sind. Die Augen seiner Mutter sind grau. So ist es. I think I've been speaking for more than a minute now. Oh, und was ich sagen wollte, ist die 2 Personen, die nicht beeinflusst sind von dieser Magie, sind Yara. Und die andere Person ist diese Person, die du jetzt gerade hier auf dem Bildschirm siehst. There we go. That's the spoiler. That's the spoiler. I gave Mango a spoiler. Simon heard that. Simon heard that. Oh. Just heard it really through the just heard a big loud really through the wall. You don't know about Adamir's lore enough to be asking for spoilers. That's good. I have half a minute of drawing with my left hand, man. Translate app actually translated pretty well. Oh no. Does that mean you know what's happening too? I don't quite like this orange, but I'm going to change the color in a bit when I'm able to use my right hand again. Would marry. Oh, that you would marry. Yes. I can't remember the context though. Oh, because you wanted to command the seas? I can't remember the context. Don't like this orange, weird orange. Wanted more of a corally red. Don't like that. That's maybe a bit better. Alpha, look. I can draw with my right hand again. Can you tell? Sam wanted to become a god of the seas. Yes? Okay. Cool. You either have to marry her or convince her to give you a bit of her magic. You're learning German, but you don't know enough to hear what I said. It's good to hear. the less people that know, the better. Checks out. Oh, we still got the alpha lock on. Boop. There we go. There he is. It's a boy. Let's give him some blush to his face. A little more definition. Let's just actually delete this color because I don't want this color. And then let's do the blush. Yeah, that's fair. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Ba-dum, ba-dum. The latter solution wasn't available back then? Well, it's because of lore that I announced in this stream, where it's like Yara gave the sirens a bit of her magic, and that's how they can take advantage of that and kind of lure people to their doom. Risky. If you took German instead of Spanish, you feel like in this community you've needed German skills more than anything. Sorry, Spanish, like globally seen as Spanish is so much more helpful than German, my dude. You're smart in taking Spanish. If there was a language that I'd learn, I'm still traumatized from like language schooling, but I think a lot further down the line I could see myself learning a language, like teaching myself a language. And if that were to be a language, it would be Spanish. Forgot about the stream and we'll flying kitties in your what? Kites. With your fam outside for Mother's Day. Very little amount of time. Phone down right when you're about to go inside. Because your phone has audio coming out of it. Oh my gosh. It's mean you have a bit of Yara's power because I said you're a mermaid? Yes, because I said you were a siren. Not because you're a mermaid. But since I said you're a siren, then yes. It would be a shame for the sirens if someone came a different beast. We are a different beast now. The only places where Germany is useful is Germany, Austria, and half of Switzerland. Yeah, it's not that far. And in most of those countries, people understand English. So, you know. Yeah, flying kitties, I'm a spread, okay? Seriously, it's just writing footnotes, I feel that. I got confused reading. You see the word Austria and you read it as Australia. Yeah, you need German in Australia. Sam, you know German because you should, because you live in Australia. That'd be really useful where you live. I don't think I've changed much about Adamir here, but Adamir here, I can speak. I really like how he looks. I think his design suited his character quite a bit before. Where it was like, nah, Kira needs to be more cutesy and more chaotic. I guess that's also something that Kira and Adamir have in common. They both really like learning. Who thought it would be smart to call Österreich Austria? Yeah, I don't know. Because otherwise people would call it Österreich and think it was an Easter place. Confuse it with Easter Island. Yes, Sam is Australian. Anyone been playing the entire epic playlist on shuffle? Transition from Would You Fall in Love With Me Again to Different Beast. I've got the translation from Suffering to, or from Would You Fall in Love With Me to Suffering. I've gotten that. Any tips for learning a new language? 600 strike into open arms. Oof. Which almost stolen Australian's voice. You would have 2 nickels. That is very weird, yes. Bum 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 bum. I realised here I didn't give Kira any shading for some reason. Were we running out of time at the time? Guess I don't need to give Adamir any shading then either. Nice. I gave her eyes shading. We'll shade his eyes as well. But let's just give him some highlights. Would you fall in love with me again? Just a man to hold him down. Oof. If you knew all I've done, things I cannot change. You love me all the same. Know that I've been waiting for love. Just a man to hold them down is quite yes. You were a proud hater of that movie before Jimmy even mentioned it. Aww. Careful what you say here, Sam. Molly might take advantage of your answer. Right, let's make his eyes less dead, shall we? That might be a good idea. Dude looks really yellow on my other computer screen. What does it look like on this screen? Oh, hi, Spock. I've opened my tabs again and I see Spock. Like on this screen. Oh, hi, Spock. I hear myself. I hate to hear myself. Dude, I am so much paler than Adamir. Look at my character on the side. I like compare to the paleness of Kira. My gosh, maybe I need to fiddle around with... Adamir is supposed to be pale. Dude looks so Greek and I am so here for it. I am being influenced by the epic animatics and that's fine. I'm wondering if I want to make his gills, because his tail color is also kind of like a bluish here. Like it's pretty much the same color as you see here, right? What if? Because this is an older drawing where he had a turquoise tail. But I think we go for that. And I kind of want to make his gills a bit colorful, just to kind of have them stand out. Maybe his ears as well. I don't know if this is a design that I will definitely have, or like definitely continue with, because I think it does look a bit cartoonish and weird. He's definitely going to use that scarf now. On his ears as well. Kind of like that. Where do you fall in love? Oh gosh, where are we? Chat has happened. Fall in love with me to survive? What's survive again? What? Oh, that's a really nice song to learn on piano ever. Let's cut the charade. You are no wife. Oh, Hydra. That is really quite the change. Not have times people saying something that isn't really surprising that it happened twice. Not inherently bad, but you rarely see it being used well. Bum, bum, bum. It is an easy format, touche. Not hugely inventive in that case then, as well. So let's alpha lock this. I want to give some more definition. If I'm not going to shade it, I'm going to do some like... What's it called? Some... Oh gosh, words. I can't say words. Words are hard. Gradients in like some of the... Add a bit of definition. Sort of like that. Just a bit of something. I like him. Ba-ba-da-bum. Make your mom's hot patch. Hopefully you don't get your hands burned, please. Okay. I like it. Nice portrait. Let's give him a background colour. I'll tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on a separate layer. And put it on a separate layer, I say. Copy and paste. Get like closer down here. Get rid of it on this layer. And then just hide it because we don't need to see that all the time. Let's crop the image so it's similar frame as Kira. Then we'll have like these kind of little portraits. Oh, you know what? I've just done this to Kira. I've just cropped Kira away. No. And then we'll, I say, give him like a turquoise background, eh? Just imagine he's underwater. That's maybe too saturated. Underwater, underwater. There we go. Here's that boy. He looks so much like he got a very weird compliment. I see that. I see that. It's kind of like, I don't know what to say to that. I think it's the lips that do it, isn't it? That's just politely smiling. But honestly, that is so much of what he does, is just politely smiling. Did I give Kira lips? Oh, I didn't check. Let's check if I gave Kira lips, because then we can continue with... Then we can give Adamir lips as well. Keep it consistent. Kind of not really. Just a line. So we'll give Adamir a thing. Do I have lip rights? What are lip rights? What do you mean by lip rights? Do my characters have a right to have lips? No, they do not. There we go. Kira gave Adamir her lips and her legs. Sure. Sure. Yeah. We won't talk about the other implications of giving Adamir legs. Oopsie. But yes. Let's give him sparkles in his eyes, because otherwise he looks pretty dead. I think I gave Kira sparkles. I'm so happy. Dude, we're gonna have like a line of portraits, and it's gonna make me so happy that they exist. Because honestly, I like it takes a lot of like I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I need to really force myself to do like original character stuff. Not because I don't like it, it's because I have like all these thoughts going around in my head. I love doing it, it's so fulfilling. I have all these thoughts going around in my head, and it's kind of sometimes hard to put them on paper. But you know, now we're kind of getting places into putting them on paper. Adamir's like this Kira was a style break, I have to say. I think I love how she looks, but it's not a style that I have very consistently. So I don't know if I'll stay consistent with how I draw Kira. Adamir is a lot more like what's it? More consistent with my style. So, but I'm enjoying this. I hope you guys are liking this too, and me kind of babble about our characters. We got 2 of them now. I'll have a whole series of portraits after this. The next character that was voted for the most was Rain. And I really do want to do something for Rain, because I think that would be fun. And I want to do more original character stuff in the future. I have so many like song ideas for them. Sadly, a lot of those songs I can't play, or I can't make animatics to yet, because they're like, a lot of the songs are love songs. And I think it would be too spoilery if I told you relationships. Character relationships. Dude, I can listen to the Odyssey. Dude, sorry, I popped on Spotify to find my playlists. I can listen to the Odyssey by Stephen Fry. Or narrated by Stephen Fry, obviously. It's not by Stephen Fry. I feel like a silly sausage. I need to look into the audiobooks on Spotify. They look cool. Where's the playlist? Flippin' heck. Hello, library. Can't find it. It's so long since I played it. Hello? Animatic song recommendations? It's not been that long since I played it. I've got like a playlist of animatic song recommendations that other people have recommended to me, but I don't necessarily have an idea for. There it is. But yeah. As examples of songs that I've got like a really clear animatic idea to, is songs like, let's see, I need to get to the right point. Oh no. Oh guys, I'm sad. Oh the organization of the playlist isn't good. It's that, oh. Man. So I've got a very clear animatic idea for Welly Boots by The Amazing Devil, or Ink Pot Gods by The Amazing Devil. Very clear animatic idea for 5'3" by Flannel Graph. Then that's a love song, so I can't do that. Meet Me in the Woods by Lord Huron is one of those that I've got a clear animatic plan to. Cover Me in Sunshine by Pink is also a very spoilery song, if I were to have that. Waterfall by Fish in a Birdcage is also very spoilery, but I've got a very clear animatic song to it. Aurora, Runaway, I have like that entire animatic planned out in my brain. Actually, I could do that. I could do that. I have that animatic planned out in my brain. That's not too spoilery. Oh, I could not make it too spoilery, because there's some parts in it that are kind of spoilery, but I could make it not spoilery. Because it starts out with like, I was listening to the ocean, I saw her face in the sand, and when I picked it up, then it vanished away from my hands. And that works so well for Adamir. And then it continues on with, I had a dream I was 7, climbing my way in a tree. I saw a piece of heaven waiting impatient for me. And that is very Rain. Wondering when I draw a full body person, basically, is a basic standing position. Where do I start? The head, the torso, the feet. I start with the head, because that is the most important part for me, is the expressions on characters' faces. It's where I want my focus to be. And from there, when I draw the head, I kind of like, and I don't go like detail after detail after detail, right? I kind of build like a skeleton. Let's see. I first build a very, very rough skeleton sometimes, like as an example of this here. Very rough skeleton, and I started out by just drawing the head, if I were to draw this again, right? Drawing the head, and then there, and then you kind of go the neck down, and then the torso, and then the limbs, and then the legs. And then I start with detail, right? That's how I do it. Runaway is so good. And Runaway's been like, it once was like the very first song on this playlist. I have since like organized it differently, but Runaway was one of my favorite, like one of my very first song ideas for, have I written it down? Have I written the idea down? 4 characters. Maybe I've written it down in a sketchbook, I think. I think it was before I started writing this sort of stuff down in my iPad. Art. Yeah, I've planned out Welly Boots. Oh, that's all I've done so far. Interesting. Oh, Welly Boots is a good one as well. Got burned, but also got a reward. Oh. Ready as I'll Ever Be would be a fun. Oh, Strawberry Blonde, my Mitski, is also one that I have planned out from A to Z, but that is spoilery because it's also a romantic song. Oh, but that is such a good story part. I love love everybody because I love you. When you stood up, walked away barefoot, and the grass where you lay left a bed in your shape, I looked over it and I ached. I love everybody because I love you. Don't need the city and I don't need... The song Agony from Into the Woods is very Derek. Our character Derek, he is literally, at the beginning of the story, he is literally the prince from Into the Woods, kind of on a quest to find his princess, to find the love of his life. And he's very dramatic. Me, you, and Steve. Oh, yeah. Hey, look, it's Battlecry in there. So many songs, so many animatics that I've planned out pretty, like, in detail in my brain, or brains. Yeah, so much, so much, so much. My Procreate is so disorganized. I am so... It's kind of like starting to stress me out how disorganized my Procreate is. Maybe I need to fiddle around. I need to fiddle around with stuff on it. Get rid of some things. Maybe I can archive the Inktober speedrun kind of thing. Anyway. We drew an Adamir today. We drew an Adamir. I'm so happy. And it's kind of like a reference of what he looked like before. We have some pictures. Well, apparently we don't. Oh, they've been deleted. Been removed. But I guess we could look on here. These are images of what... Oh, this is Derek. It's not Derek. It's not Adamir. That's Derek. What he used to look like. I think this is the most recent drawing of Adamir that I have. Of all these drawings. And this is what he looks like now. Not too much of a design change, but kind of like more, you know, to my style in an updated sense, how I draw now, right? And it's really cool because it makes him a lot more real. Does that make sense? You've been drawing people from the feet up. The only way you can get the person the size you want on the page. Interesting. So place the feet first, and then my recommendation is just to go from like less detail to more detail. So start with like literally stick figures, and then you can start drawing detail. I just imagine like these fully rendered out feet. But oh, it just makes the characters feel that more kind of like solid, and like I can imagine these characters moving more than I can like a character that is drawn like this. I can imagine them talking and them like how they'd act more. I don't know if that makes sense, but this is really fulfilling. I'm really enjoying this. I want to continue this with different characters. And I think we could do Rain next. Rain's fun. And that was the like second to most voted on. But we got Merman. We got our Sushi Prince Adamir in a pretty casual outfit right now. You can just see his shoulders, but yeah, just a little portrait. He does look like he's having his portrait taken, where he's like, I must be still and I must smile, and I'm really struggling to sit still and smile for all these hours. It's not something that I enjoy doing. I could be doing so much better things now, but I'm being painted. I'm being painted. Magical girl Sushi Prince. Yes. We can assume there's more him below. Yes, it's not just cut off there. I'm focusing on the facial features right now. Afterwards, I think we can like figure out outfit designs and body shape and that kind of thing. But I really set my focus on what characters' faces look like, because I want them to be distinct there. And I enjoy drawing faces more than I do whole bodies, come on. But we can figure that out in a bit. You block feet and then rough legs, and from there you can tell the size. You need to mess with it. I've never done that before, interesting. And I've never heard of people who do that. This is a human activity, I must comply to convince them. Yes. Oh man. I have very many feelings about Adamir. I relate to him so much, where it's like generational pressure put on you and not really knowing how to fill like big shoes and kind of not necessarily wanting to do the things that everybody expects around you, or not wanting to do it the way that people around you expect you to do them. So I relate to him on many levels. Under pressure. Dum 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 da dum dum. I'm a sushi prince. This is the TLDR. I'm a sushi prince. Merlin Artie is from the same place as Adamir. There really is only kind of one merpeople. I guess, yeah, the sirens all come from the merpeople. I don't know if we've got it where the sirens can't have kids of their own, so they can only adopt the kids that have been cast out by the merpeople. So originally all sirens are from where the merpeople live. And I guess Adamir is from the capital of Cordelian, which don't ask me what its name is. I wouldn't know. But I like how he looks. Yeah. This is really fulfilling. Thank you for letting me kind of gush about our story and our characters and our world building. Because it's what I want to like move into in the future. I don't want to just be doing live series stuff, because you don't know how I don't know how long live series is going to be interesting for me, right? Or how long it's going to go on for, right? But this is kind of like, if there's, obviously Epic is something that I'm obviously quite obsessed with at the moment. But if there's another fandom that I kind of get interested in, I might do animatics to that. But just long term, these characters are the face of the whole Everin brand and the Everin channel. And we just kind of like want people to love them as much as we love them. Does that make sense? I hope I'm doing an okay job of doing that. Yeah, it's tricky waters to step in, because I want to tell you guys all about them, but I also don't want to spoil or anything. So, just, yeah. We will at some point tell a story. I don't know if we'll write a novel, or if we'll turn the story into a series of animatics and tell the story like that. I've always thought that it would be really cool to have like a new way of telling a story in like the medium that, and like the animatic medium that I work in so much. And it not just, be like a novel and then people can just see art of the novel, right? But I haven't really found something that I'm like, yes, this is how I want to do this yet. The inevitable full-scale movie, who is Jack Black acting? Who is Jack Black acting? I could see Jack Black as dudes, I don't know. I am going on a blank. He plays me. I'm not in this story. I'm not self-inserted. Adamir's dad. Adamir's dad would be more like a more like a Jason Momoa, actually, but like, think, maybe I'm just biased on background. No, he'd be more like, I'm just trying to think, actors' names, actors. Be more like a I'm blanking on names of actors. And I have no idea. Jim Carrey? No. think strong, stoic. The guy who plays Stoic. The guy who plays Stoic. The actor who plays Stoic in the new live action. Oh, you know, not even that. In the old How to Train Your Dragon. Jack Black just plays Jack Black. Yeah, that would be fair. I could see Jack Black playing maybe... Oh, I can't say their name. It's a spoiler. Dang it. I don't mean it's Walker Scobell. It's Walker Scobell. I know. I know. Oh, wow. Wow, Artie. I don't know. Baby husband spoiler wailing. Yeah, I'm sorry. What did you do? Well, obviously Percy Jackson, son of Poseidon, and Adamir, son of the King of the Ocean. We've had... So... Let's see. My brain is braining. The guy who's in the Hunger Games... He's like... what's his name? Cast. He's like not one of the main characters, but like a side main character, right? Finnick. The guy who plays Finnick is like absolutely one of Adamir's brothers. Jack Quaid. Jack Quaid? No. Yes? No. Yes? No. Wrong name? No. I'm an idiot. Sam Colvin. Yes, thank you. Absolutely one of Adamir's brothers. Yes. That's kind of like those are his brothers, and Adamir is... Oh, what kind of character could be Adamir? Honestly, we've tried to do this kind. We've tried. Oh, my eye. Tell you what, I'll plunk you guys here. Oh, I could so see Chris Pratt as like an older version of Chris Pratt as Adamir's dad. But we've done like dream castings of different of our characters. I think there's a hold on. Have I got a list on my phone? Do I have a list on my phone? Ba-da-ba-da. Rainism film actors. So Sam. Oh yeah, William Moseley who played Peter in Narnia. Sam is so William Moseley coded. Ooh, yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Oh, Chenoa Gal Gadot. Or Renee Elise Goldberry. Or Zoe Saldana. Plays Gamora, I think. I think that's who that is. Who's Mitchell Hope? That's who we've got from Anamia. Oh, I was watching Descendants. He's Ben from Descendants, Mitchell Hope. Maybe, I don't know. The new Danny Motta. Did he upload yesterday, right? A lot of people say Gal Gadot is not a good person. Oh, Pedro Pascal would be Cambio. Pedro Pascal I could see as Cambio. I haven't heard that. Is that in relation to the what's it called? The new Snow White film. I've heard that the person who plays Snow White, is it Rachel Segler, is very problematic, but we won't talk about, let's not talk about actor drama. Live series bingo. Any suggestions? Ooh. Ren being dramatic. Or Ren and Martin being drama kids. Bad actress, but also politics. We're talking Rachel Segler, right? Yeah, politics was problematic. She makes it to the final. Lizzie and Joel's team. Oh, Doug Seabirds. Let's see. Green's teammate dies before him. That's always something. Or Green is indirectly the cause of one of his teammates' deaths. Ren and Martin being theatre kids. What else could we have? A new team up we haven't had before, maybe? Or along similar lines, Tango teams up with either Skiz or Etho. Because that happens every time. Remember that one kid everyone thought was weird because he always quoted Hamilton? That's me, I'm that kid. Scott willingly giving up his life, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, I don't know. Is that a good amount of stuff? There's plenty of life series stuff that could happen. I don't know. Have we got no music again? Oh, Cleo or Joel. Cleo or Joel being arsonist. Oh no, Scar. Scar being an arsonist. Oh, another one would be Tango's space burning down. Because that seems to happen every time as well. Bum, 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 bum. How about a very silly, embarrassing death? You're no arson for a risky one. Oof. Oh yeah, you could have a sub-in. As in like a non-life cameo or like a sub-in. Impulse being scared of Pearl with dogs. Does that happen often? You could have Pearl having dogs. I don't know. That's many. Anyway. I'm going to pull you guys over to this screen. Because I think we've done what we set out to do today. And I've got to go to bed soon. Because I'm going to the hairdresser's tomorrow. Early, up and early. To go get my hair cut. Finally. It's so long right now. One of Pearl's live impulse was having PTSD. Aw. Bless. Bless. But thank you guys so much for hanging out. Thanks for indulging me and like listening to my ramblings on our characters and asking questions. And Sam, shush. It's really creatively fulfilling for me to be able to like share this with you guys. And I hope me kind of talking about it can give you some kind of excitement for the story that we're cooking up, because we're really excited about it. And you know, the more hype that we create around it, it's kind of like it makes us want to do more with it, if that makes sense. Yeah, no, Sam, shush. Over or under 7 episodes, your choice. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like very few are under. I don't know. You steal Sam's voice again. Who's he? I don't know. Got a cub to finish. They're not good for your productivity. Well, you do. You enjoy finishing cub, my dude. Thank you so much for hanging out and let me ramble about merpeople and Adamir and world building and. And yeah, we'll continue with this. Why do people hate you? I don't hate you, Sam. I just pretend to because it's funny. Because you mess up our games. But you're a good guy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out. We're going to do some more original character stuff, but I think first we need to do some progress on some animatic stuff, don't we? I think. On Thursday, we've got a special stream. So Thursday, 7 p.m. CET. Thank you, I Hydrate. Thursday, we've got a special stream, 7 p.m. CET, where I announce what's going to be going on Thursdays for the month of June and onwards. A special stream, exactly. I'm announcing something very special. Oh, that special stream, yes. So big announcement on Thursday. And we're going to be not gaming. We're going to combine gaming and art. We're going to be combining gaming and art. We're going to do something art related to gaming. And so I hope you guys will be there for it. If you are here for the art, then that is definitely also something that would be cool. Butterfly catching stream, yes, exactly. And yes, so I'm excited to tell you guys about the thing that we've been working on and we're gonna be doing. Ooh, let's go. Sam, I'm excited. Sam's been working hard. Multi's been doing a lot of the organization. The Everyone mods have been doing great. So yeah, I'm excited. If you guys have any theories, then throw them in the Discord. And other than that, on that bombshell, I'll see you guys on Thursday, and I'm excited to tell you what's happening. And yeah, thank you so much for hanging out. All that I think is left for me to do is to say until Thursday, and to send you off into the void that is the internet. Bye guys, see you around.